Unmute. Sir, unmute, please.
Good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon. Now it is okay. It's okay.
My voice is okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So I have already shared the program, your mail ID.
Yesterday,
in
no?
WhatsApp,
Yesterday.
In WhatsApp, I have shared the program.
WhatsApp, I don't have here in the department.
Okay, your talk is from 3:05 to 3:15.
Okay.
3:20, 15 minutes.
Only 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
नमस्कार इंद्रमणि साहब. ठीक है. I think you are.
डॉक्टर साहब अनम्यूट कीजिए.
नमस्कार.
ठीक है.
हाँ, फर्स्ट क्लास. आप कैसे हैं?
बस चल रहा है.
वाह, ग्रेट.
और सुनाइए.
बस अच्छा है, आपने टाइम निकाला.
अरे आप लोग बोलेंगे हम लोग टाइम नहीं निकाल के कहाँ जाएंगे.
क्या भाई, बहुत अच्छा.
और क्या सुनाइए.
अच्छा लगता है ना, बहुत ही.
नहीं आप लोग करते रहिए.
चीजें होती रहनी. वर्मा जी नमस्कार. खन्ना साहब नमस्कार.
नमस्कार डॉक्टर साहब.
नमस्कार शर्मा जी.
सर खन्ना सर का अकाउंट अभी हमारे पास है सर, वो दूसरे अकाउंट से मैं भी ज्वाइन करेंगे.
आप अनम्यूट कीजिए ना साहब, अनम्यूट कीजिए.
नहीं, डॉक्टर खन्ना का वो दिख रहा था. आप डॉक्टर दिलीप बैठे हैं खन्ना साहब जगह है.
वो एक्चुअली ISAE का जो वेब ये है वो डॉक्टर मनोज खन्ना जी के ईमेल में है.
और प्रमोद कौन चल ची
बस ठीक चल.
मोबाइल तब भूली गलो दे मुआते इंटरेस्ट नहीं तब ऑल ऑफ ए सडन आई गॉट अ मेल फ्रॉम यू. मोबाइल मते रिलैक्स मिलला तो ठीक अछि. से कथा होछि कोन कि बहुत जनकर समस्त को इकट्ठा कला बेल को टाइम लगुछि. तो तुम्हारा ऑनलाइन क्लास होछि न स्टूडेंट माने आसलेनी.
मैं स्टूडेंट्स आसिलेनी.
हमारा तो पर्यंत स्टूडेंट की आसिनाते. यू आर स्टिल ऑनलाइन.
Sir, namaskar. I welcome Director IRI and Dr. Bhattacharya.
Yeah, ठीक है जी.
Good afternoon. Yeah. Please, we can go ahead if everybody has joined.
Thank you.
Right, sir.
Good afternoon.
I'm just looking.
We are waiting for DDG.
Okay.
So Dr. Bhatt and DDG.
Good afternoon, Director sir. Good afternoon, everybody. Hi.
Namaskar.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Namaskar. Good afternoon, Director sir.
Great to see you.
Yeah, very good to see you too. Yeah. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dr. Viswanathan. So everybody joined, I guess.
Good afternoon, Jatsa.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Welcome, Dr. Mehta.
Dr. Mehta, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Singh Saab.
Good afternoon,
Mehta ji.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon.
So, with the permission of chair, should I start?
Yes.
Please.
Okay, namaskar. Good afternoon to all. Honorable Dr. Alagusundaram ji, DDG Agricultural Engineering and chief guest of today's webinar. Most respected Dr. A.K. Singh sir, Director IRI, and the president of this webinar. All the eminent speakers, Dr. Mehta, Dr. Bhattacharya sir, or also people will join later on. And Dr. Indra, head of the division and host of this webinar, and all the friends, those who are participating in this webinar, I welcome you all. My hearty welcome to all of you. And definitely in these 3 hours, we will be enriched. And to a brief about, we talk about precision as an engineer. When we talk about precision, it is about the exactness or the degree of reproducibility that we talk about precision. And when you talk about precision agriculture, lot of concepts are going on, 3R, 4R, 5R. So one R is being added into. And so in this way, earlier in the BIS code, there is the performance index is being talked about, which takes into account the quantity of work, quality of work, as well as the power requirement. So can there be a precision index, or it will be an integral part of the performance index? So there are some questions that need to be answered. And can this precision index, if it is there, can it be included in the BIS code? Can there be a like the energy ratings? Can there be a precision rating? So all these things need to be answered. So accordingly, the speakers, the eminent speakers, those who are selected, they will be delivering on these aspects. Without taking more time, I request Dr. Indra to go for the welcome address and brief about what this webinar is all about. Thank you. Dr. Indra, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sahoo. Dr. K. Alagusundaram Sahab, our Deputy Director General and force behind taking agricultural engineering ahead in the country. And Professor Ashok Kumar Singh, our beloved director and lover of engineering solutions in agriculture. We have been getting a lot of enthusiasm and energy under his leadership, both when he was JDR and even as a head of division of genetics. We have been getting a lot of enthusiasm and energy from you, Dr. Saab. And
Thank
then
you,
we have our friends, Dr. C.R. Mehta, Director CI Bhopal. Then my 2 teachers are here, Dr. T.K. Bhattacharya, who taught me the first lesson in agricultural machinery, first day, and still I have note. And he told that what mechanization is, and sometimes when people say that precision technology and precision agricultural technologies and mechanization is different, then I get little bit confused that without precision, mechanization cannot be complete. So there may be degree of precision, but mechanization is basically basis of mechanization is precision, efficiency, capacity, drudgery removal, and finally leading to honor to agriculture, farming and farmers. So then we have our friends, Dr. B. Shridar. He is Dean at TNAU Coimbatore, and I had opportunity to be with him there in IIT Bangkok as a friend. We were together along with Dr. Bhattacharya Sahab. So is there. Then we have another my teacher here and colleague, Dr. A.P. Srivastava Sahab, and all other friends who have joined. Manjeet Singh is from PAU Ludhiana, another person who is working. So all the centers, sir, TNAU, IIT Kharagpur, we have that Professor Raheman from IIT Kharagpur. So we have representation from IIT Kharagpur, TNAU, then PAU, then Pantnagar, IARI, and CI Bhopal, and all the friends from all different universities have joined. So I'm, as Dr. Sahoo said, that it is going to be a very good discussion. And two major things, Dr. Srivastava is here, and he once said that you organize this kind of meeting to find out which one is precision technology, which one is simple mechanization, and should we call all precision technology like that, and particularly in context of India. And and another thing is whether really we are nowadays seeing that even ministry is organizing 2 hackathons were organized, and in that mechanization was one session and the precision engineering was another session. So sometimes it bothers that where is that thin line where we can distinguish and differentiate that this is mechanization, this is precision. So all these things we will be discussing. And as Dr. Sahoo said, Precision Index, NAS organized one, formed a group, and a lot of discussion was there. I was one of the participants, and Dr. Singh, then Director CI Bhopal, was convener of that one, and that report was submitted to NAS with respect to Precision Index. So that also will be shared, and based on this this discussion, we will prepare a document and which will be shared with all. And let us come. This is from ISAE side also, sir. Indian Society of Agriculture Engineers. A lot many people have joined, so they will also join and they will also interact and will give input. And we will prepare a draft which we'll share. And what will be the roadmap for precision technology development? And then one thing is a very important thing, that what is precision for Northeast is the same precision for Punjab. And what is precision for India is that same from USA. So those things are also keeping small farms, 86.2% small farms. Those are also some challenges. So I will I have a small presentation is there in which how we understand this aspect and what modest effort we are doing at IARI. I'll just try to share and discuss with Dr. Dilip, will you allow me? I have to share.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It said host disabled participant screen sharing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are doing.
It's okay? Okay. What happened?
Option is not coming, sir.
Then how will our others?
Make host. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay. Is it okay?
Please go for
Yes, sir.
presentation mode.
Is it visible?
Yeah, now it is okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Sorry for inconvenience. Okay, so what we have said, precision farm equipment, future research needs for India. That is what the topic of today's discussion. And it is not only webinar. I was just talking to Dr. Sahoo that it should be a brainstorming. So it is a mix of those because, and so friends and Chairman sir, we know that challenges to world agriculture and how the solution will come. We all know that what is the this burgeoning population of the world, not only in India and the world. What is the situation in 2006 and what will be in 2050 with respect to closing the food gap, supporting the economic development. 28% global population is directly and indirectly depending upon agriculture. 53% percentage of India population is depending directly on agriculture, then we have to see that reducing environmental impact, that is another major challenge. So how this will come? That the solution, because without food we can't survive. Agriculture has to grow, and we have seen all this, during COVID time, that anything fails, but agriculture has to move. So the solution is precision farming can do this, and precision farming plus digitization, that is what is being called as smart farming, and smart farming will lead to multiplying the farmers' income, not only doubling, which India is aiming in 2022. And mechanization and automation, Chairman Sir, is one of the top 20th invention of the world during 20th century. And if we see, this is very, very important statement, because if we see around 1870, even US 50%, more than 50% population was directly engaged in agriculture. Now only 2% population is engaged in agriculture. So mechanization and automation, that means, has relieved a large number of population. In developed countries, more than if you see 90%, in many cases only 98% population has been relieved to work for secondary and tertiary sector of economy. And in India also, recently when we started our education, we were told that 75% population in agriculture, now 53, and further it is reducing. So this is mechanization and automation. This is one very important contribution, is that to make our life comfortable and smart, mechanization and automation has relieved larger population and labor to work for other sectors. So that's how it becomes very, very important. And Singh, as I was mentioning, that agriculture mechanization is a savior in times of crisis also. As we see during COVID time, everything was closed, and month was April 2020, and April 2020 crop were in the field. Farmers' whole gold was in the field, and that gold was to be harvested. And this was only because of machinery, and government of India took a very strong step, and relaxations were there, and inter and intra movements of farm laborers, harvesting machine, all were allowed, and that's how we could harvest ever highest production. And even ICAR took a very good step, and we all were in IARI, under the leadership of Director IARI, we were working whole April month and developing some solutions for COVID also. And similarly, I was basically working with the JS machinery, and many times we were discussing and taking advice of DDG Saab, how this relaxation should be given so that machinery movement should be there and crop could be harvested. So that and mechanization finally led to harvest a bumper harvest in Rabi season. Just just as an example, that whole industry was closed, but in April 2020, the complete lockdown period, in that also 4,770 tractors were sold by one industry. April month I'm talking. And in that 4,712 were consumed in India, and 60 were exported also. So and similarly other tractor companies, if you see, they're starting from 9.5% to 70%, more than 70% growth. If you compare July 20 and July 2019. So it shows that it is machinery and mechanization which will save if there is a crisis, kind of COVID type of crisis, and not only save it was much dependence came on this, and tractor industry has to increase its production, and this is not one, all tractor industries have same experience. So just what are the major challenges, and those will be the basis of of these issues in this webinar also. Variation in level of farm mechanization is to best. We have Africa, we have Europe also in the country. Mechanization, automation, and precision indices need to be developed. Farm equipment and precision farm equipment, are they same, different? And how we have to drive, is there any farm equipment which is not precise? So that is one discussion. R&D on precision technologies, lack of funding in many universities. This I am speaking as because we in society, University of Agriculture Engineers, as a president, I keep on interacting with a number of universities, and there is a serious lack of, and so that is one. And we from the from the SMD side, we are putting a lot of people. SMD and society joined hand, and we approached DST, and a big call was given in which more than 125 projects were funded on only on agri-tech. DST came out with a call agri-tech only, agriculture engineering technology. So that is one very important issue. Collaboration among agriculture engineering and core engineering institution means IIT, CSIR, INIT. This is another very important area if we have to develop, precise, because they do not have sufficient knowledge of agriculture application and the requirement and even basic engineering, agriculture engineering, and we sometimes lack in the core engineering competency. So that's why this kind of bracketing is required. And technology patenting and commercialization is another major issue. Industry institute, state government collaboration is also necessary. Many times state government's extension division is not equipped with knowledge and other things. So there is the requirement that institution directly interact with the state government also. Technology dissemination to farmers. This is one always there is a complaint that the institutes are developing number of technologies but not reaching to farmers. This is another major issue. A small farm, hill farming mechanization is another challenge. And my dear friends, green energy, either solar or bio, that is another challenge which we have to look into. So if see this variation, I was talking the one thing that see the farm power availability in Punjab, Haryana, and Western UP, and see the and the other side is the productivity. You have direct linkage, and you come to Manipur and they see the productivity and farm power availability. Farm power availability is one index of mechanization. So that means what is required, appropriate mechanization is required, and averaging the gap is a major challenge that will come through appropriate mechanization. And we have to see that whether only farm power availability is sufficient index or equipment availability, appropriate equipment availability should also be included in developing some indices, so that we can say that what is the mechanization level in different states, developing east or west, north or south. We have to address this problem. So another thing I said, R&D is very, very important. And so we have to go for external funding, and we have to approach all external agencies. Our modest this effort have been, these are some ongoing externally funded projects in our division, and some recently be completed. This is the list, and this between 19 and 20 March, again up to March 2021, 2 projects were given last month only, this month only rather. Have come, and this is how we are targeting on sensors and IoT related, nutrition security related, agriculture management related, different kind of projects we are trying. So what I want to say that some model we have to think that, okay, we should have to depend upon the institute funding or university funding. We have to look for, and there's an ample opportunity I want to put before young friends who are working with me, like and are participating in this meeting. And there's a simple one in even youngest scientists have externally funded project. So that we are trying, and that at national level we have to see that if we want to take agriculture engineering, ahead. So then I said collaboration is necessary with IIT, CSIR, NIT. This is one example. That DG. Our DDG was, instrumental, and Deputy Director General Crops, this extension was also there. Our present director's guidance was there. And we had one project, this was JDR's office initiative at the time. And we had this project on with IIT Kanpur. And this was a very good development, and many technologies came. So what I want to say precisely that we have to get bracketed with the IITs and NITs and in CSR institute like CSIO and others, and to develop the technology. And these were some 9 projects were approved in that, and we could develop these technologies. I'm just going fast, just glimpse. And finally, there's one thing was that we were promoted as we did good. So they said, the MHRD said, now we will be hub, not as a spoke. Earlier we were a spoke. So we have to see how to travel and go and improve our performance and contribution, so that presence could be felt even core engineering institution also. Certain technologies related to with these projects which we got from different funding institutions. So thrown under the leadership of our DDG, there was a committee, and we all have been. I'm telling that we have submitted the report, and a lot of work is going on, and very soon drone application, but some experiments, etc. we did with our friends. And robotic area we are working. Then field, there is some small effort like field performance measuring apparatus for farm implement, that also we have developed. Then this is another. Then variable swath herbicide applicator. This is one project. IoT based custom hiring monitoring system. This also we have been working. So these are just glimpses I'm telling you. The number of projects. So some I said that on these areas we have been working, and then it is also necessary that we have to patent and we have to commercialize. So this is like in IRI we are having a JTMBP unit working very hard under the guidance of director, and we are working together. So this is now helping that how to patent our technology and commercialize our technology. So not only that that people from nearby manufacturers, even we have getting the manufacturer from Tamil Nadu and from Karnataka, they took our technologies and commercialized them. So this is one effort we have to make by in the institution. Then private funding, industry funding is also required. So CNS, just an example, CNS gave 1.05 crore rupees to us, and taking our technologies to farmers. This was particularly related to this crop residue management. And with this, we are in this is the in Haryana, Ambala, and with KBK and farmers field, we are working there for ex-situ management of paddy straw, and directors have visited there and inaugurated it, and that good progress. So we are going to how to link directly with the farmers so that solutions we can evolve. State government, well, I just mentioned that we have to get connected to the state government also to reduce the transmission losses. Transmission is what we are developing and what technology is reaching there that do. So if institutions directly interact with the state government, probably technology transmission efficiency will go high. And with this effect, we have been working with the UP government. We have worked Odisha and Haryana, and we are trying to take up some more project of this sort. And this ultimately lead to revenue generation. So this is what in last few years, how much revenue we have generated. This is just through sale of technologies I'm talking about, and that too through revolving fund scheme. Other which we have licensed and what the manufacturers have done, that is not included. That is additional service by the institute. Then small farm mechanization is a challenge. Thus we have to go some effort that ICAR gave one project on development of integral power equipment, DST project on Pusa battery assisted weeder, then Pusa wheel hoe, this and another vegetable seed. So this is small farm mechanization also we have to address in a bigger way. Hill mechanization we reached through a NEH project in NEH region with number of all the 27 states we have been working with their KBKs. And this is a very satisfying job that, and in this process, we took technologies from CI Bhopal also last year and took to the NEH farmers, small technologies. They need these small technologies. Otherwise, when first time I visited, Chairman Sir, we sometimes feel that even this, this spade and even, hoe, they are also of Mohenjo-daro time. So no mechanization has taken place, and very, very important that we should go there. And green energy is one, our little effort on, because we have to work on solar and bioenergy, because we cannot depend much on fossil fuels. So this is one effort, just an example that this Pusa sunfridge and farm sunfridge, and if find time please to visit this Mela site under the leadership of our director. We in 10 days we start one unit, and at Pusa at our Mela site, and it was appreciated because people could see that what was the the guidance and energy from directors IRI side, that if you put that, people can say it is very difficult. People don't have time to go to division and see the technology. So this, and it was so satisfying that every day we are getting visitors and getting appreciators and people who are who are a factor and influencer in the system. They are coming, and we are hoping that this one technology is going to be, a star technology, and that star in the sense that is going to help the farmers. So this is one very good, and we have installed it in Punjab, in Haryana and Rajasthan, and one we are going to install in Delhi Palla village. So these are some efforts we are doing. Just to conclude that purpose of this was, coming together is beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. And what I said, that IIT, TNAU, PAU, and CIAE and Pantnagar, all major institutions are there. There is need to collaborate and share the knowledge. Not only knowledge, I sometimes say, try to request that there is need to share even our strength with terms of facilities and faculty, so that we can serve, and engineering can serve Indian agriculture in a better way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite the Director IRI, Dr. A.K. Singh Saab, because he is one of the, I can say, we don't find any better advocate of engineering technology in the present scenario. Always he talks about how the engineering technology can reach to the end users. And if he is convinced, I could find many of the times he has visited with some of the visitors, of high profile visitors to our division, to showcase the technology. If once he is convinced, it is done. So I invite you, sir, for the presidential address.
Thank you, Dr. Sahoo. And thanks, Dr. Misra, for giving me this opportunity. The chairman of the session, Dr. Alagusundaram, his energy and jovial nature is something that keeps us driving all the time. Thank you, sir, for joining this meeting. We also have with us Dr. A.P. Srivastava, Dr. Bhattacharya, then Dr. Mehta, Dr. Viswanathan, and many very distinguished colleagues. My friend and colleague, Dr. I.M. Misra, Head Division of Agriculture Engineering, along with all his, scientists from the division. I also see Dr. Gajan Singh. Welcome, sir. And it's a pleasure to see you here. I had a great pleasure in working with you during the Agriculture Science Congress, and your commitment and attachment to the program was so great. Pleased to see you here. Thank you, Dr. Misra, for making excellent presentation on the purpose of this meeting and what Division of Agriculture Engineering is doing in terms of mechanization, precision agriculture, and taking it to the even remotest areas for application through different schemes of Northeastern Hill region or ST subplan or schedule cost subplan. The equipments are reaching different areas. The division has made the landmark in developing some key technologies like compost mixer, feed block machine, and in detail was described Pusa Farm Sun Freeze, which is an innovation that has really been liked by one and all. Yesterday we had a very leading reporter from Indian Express, Mr. Harish Damodaran, who writes extensively on agriculture. He saw the whole thing and he's so convinced he's going to bring out a special issue on Pusa Farm Sun Freeze and how this technology can be upscaled. We have signed the licensing agreement with few companies, and we want to take it at much larger scale so that the technology reaches the end user at a faster pace. What I see in terms of precision, the challenges before us as a scientist from agriculture engineering is when we talk of precision in terms of the economy of input that we apply, how we can reduce the input by better engineering technology, better placement methods, and so on. Then the economy in terms of cost of equipment by design, by material that is used, that has to be brought down. That also brings the precision. And then thirdly, the fuel economy, that is how it can be minimized, and to the extent that we have now green energy utilization in a big way. So these are the things that have to be really looked into in a big way. And another area which I see is very promising and very challenging, where we have not been able to do much, which I always throw this challenge to our scientists in agriculture engineering, is the farm equipment, small farm equipment for research purpose, laboratory equipment for research purpose. Today, for example, I always cite this example, a simple rice hulling and milling machine. We buy for 12 lakh rupees of Satake make. Why we have to buy Satake make? For doing our research, because all our commercial mills which are into basmati rice export, they use either Buller plant from Germany or Satake plant from Japan. Now, when we are developing new varieties, unless and until we test our varieties with the same technology at laboratory level, we will not be able to meet the expectation of the millers. Now, in that area, I think a lot needs to be done in terms of laboratory equipments. I've just one example I have given, but there are many such examples where much more interventions are required, because most of our laboratory equipments are currently imported ones, and they are very costly. The repair maintenance aspect is really challenging. So that's another area where I mean, a lot of efforts can go. And the other thing Dr. Mishra mentioned about the application of drone, that is so important in terms of site-specific nutrient management, insect pest management, disease management, and their engineering has to play a very important role. Engineering not in terms of only equipment per se, but the several technologies, whether it is machine learning, big data, artificial intelligence, application of drone, and so on. All this has to be put together in terms of finding a solution. I am sure with the very rich panel that we have today, we are going to have very intellectual discourse on this topic, and the recommendations that will emanate from this particular discussion will provide a path ahead for developing projects. Funding is a major concern, really, and also the conditions in which we work. Our laboratories for doing this kind of research, they also have to be modernized and they have to be updated. Currently, if you compare with international standards, our laboratory doesn't match that standard. Now, the question that requires a huge investment. Where from that investment will come? Whether I think our DDG Agriculture Engineering is there, and he is widely exposed person. He know how things happen in overseas, what kind of laboratory for doing precision engineering equipment design, etc. is required. There also we need, and that is some investment that has to come from in an institutional mechanism. And once we have that, then writing grant, getting external funding becomes much easier. But the major investment in terms of upgrading our laboratory to the world level is a challenge that has to really looked at institutional level. So I would not like to take more time on this occasion. I would like to wish all the very best for this very important meeting. And thank you, Dr. Mishra, and all of you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I have a meeting at 3:30. The program of IRI with ICR is to be reviewed. So DDG Crop Science is going to take another meeting. So I may be permitted to join that. I will be here as long as I can be. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Your suggestion regarding the equipment for lab purpose as well as for research plots, we are thinking in that line. In our next institutional project, we are making a provision for that, particularly an objective for that also. So it is the division will try to do all these things. Thank you very much for your inputs. So you have just set the ball rolling. So thank you. And now I invite Dr. B. Sridhar, Dean Agricultural Engineering, Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Coimbatore. Dr. B. Sridhar, please. So now you are host, you can share your screen, sir. Dr. Sridhar, you are not audible.
Unmute.
Dr. Sridhar, you are not audible. No, it was okay. It was okay.
Yes, muted.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, now it's okay.
Yeah, please continue. Please continue.
Sir, good afternoon to everyone. Really, I feel happy in making my presentation in this national webinar on precision farm equipment, future research needs for India, organized by Indian Society of Agricultural Engineering in collaboration with ICAR-IARI, New Delhi. Most respected and beloved Chief Guest, Dr. K. Alagusundaram ji, Deputy Director General, Agricultural Engineering, and I could see Dr. Gajendra Singh ji, Dr. A.K. Singh ji, Director ICAR-IARI, then Dr. C.R. Mehta ji, and Dr. T.K. Bhattacharya ji, and my dear friend Mr. Raheman from IIT Kharagpur, and all other respected keynote speakers of this session and participants of this great national webinar. In fact, mechanization all of us are doing. Just we are replacing the drudgery-oriented machinery operations performed by our laborers and animals to an attachment to the tractor and power tiller. Now, in recent times, you could able to see the powered machinery has replaced many of our farm jobs formerly carried by manual labor as well as the working animals. Now, these are the things which you can easily visualize. The year-long winnower, then manual operated weeding operation paddy. Now it is totally replaced with the paddy power weeder. Then we are having a power tiller, which is exclusively used for small farm mechanization. Lot of attachments have been developed. Similarly, for tractors also, number of attachments have been developed. But the thing is, what we have to do for this precision farm equipment, where we have to do it. So precision farm equipment, mainly it is concerned what we are applying and where we are applying, how we are applying. That is very, very important. So it increases the efficiency of the farms with the addition of data-based digital systems, which increases the knowledge of producers about their fields. In other words, we can call it as a agriculture 4.0, or we can call it as a digital farming. In fact, the precision agriculture technologies, which includes mainly the equipment guidance and automatic steering, yield monitoring, variable rate input application, remote sensing, in-field electronic sensor, section and row control on planters, sprayers and fertilizer applicators, spatial data management systems. All these things are happening here and there, but with respect to Indian agriculture, we have not applied all these things in full mode. So for these things, again, what we require is the precision agriculture, what is present in India. So if you see the agriculture in India, basically performed mainly by small and marginal farmers under the close supervision of farmers, family members, and farming is a family responsibility to them. As well as if you could see, these farmers mainly adopt management, apply input, and take decisions related to farming on the basis of their knowledge and experience, financial capacity, extension services provided, and availability of resources. Recent researches in integration, the farmer knowledge, precision agriculture tools, and crop simulation modeling can be very useful for a country like us in taking decision and management for poor performing patches in farming. Now, if you could see, we are having combines, tractors, sprayers, and seeders. But all these things are either operated by a person with human intervention, or some combines are provided with GPS guided units. But what we are required is we require these combines tractors and the tractor operated sprayers and tractor operated seeders should be guided by our GPS system. So if you take the high precision guidance and steering, if you provide with an outstanding accuracy when working in the field, it allows the growers to work anywhere, anytime, and in all conditions, even at night. The present day automated steering systems, which are present in the foreign countries, if we incorporate in our Indian tractors with full control of the steering wheels, that will be allowing us to take our hands from the wheel during trips down the row and keep an eye on the planter, sprayer, and other equipment. Similarly, another thing is interesting topic is applications of our unmanned aerial vehicles or drone in precision agriculture. So these unmanned aerial vehicles are autonomously or remotely operated aircrafts which can fly without onboard human pilot while being operated from the ground. This can be very well used for application of chemicals and fertilizer that is frequently needed at specific times and locations for accurate site-specific management of crop pests and diseases. Though it is being tried here and there, but a lot of work has to be done with this our drone spraying, especially for boosters, then plant protection chemicals and other plant hormones. Similarly, we hope to explore the possibilities of using these drones for machinery management. For that, again, we hope to do some sort of location, some sort of GPS guided systems. Next is the important item, autonomous robotics in agriculture, which is especially used for our weed control system. So weed control system, of course, the weeds are we are controlling by applying the herbicides. But again, on the other hand, we are removing the weeds by using different types of weeders which we have developed in the ICAR schemes as well as in the different projects. So these weeders could be able to use only in between the rows only. So within a row, between the plants, it's not possible. Now we can try the possibility of using the autonomous robotics weed control system, which can be used for uniformly spaced crops like tomato, cotton, and some vegetables. Even the spacing, it may vary from region to region. We can do wonderful modifications in this robotic weed control system through which we can do the weeding in check row planting system also. So the guidance system enables the robot to navigate autonomously on a field based on real-time knowledge GPS, kinematics on GPS, which reduces the manual efforts and the herbicide usage. Similarly, the other important thing is the yield monitoring. So which is becoming a conventional practice in modern agriculture. The information like seed varieties, moisture content, grain loads, and auto cut width are gathered by the yield monitor and shown on a display in the cab, which helps us in the moment in the field that may not be apparent with the naked eye. Then another important thing which we got to adopt is the variable rate technology. So variable rate technology helps us for fertilizer application to the crop producers to apply different rates of fertilizer at each location across fields. The technology needed to accomplish variable rate fertilization includes an in-cab computer and software with a field zone application map, fertilizer equipment capable of changing the rates during operation, and the global position system. Next is what the technology is needed for the present condition. One is that, as I said already, the weeding operation by robot, which can be modified either for vegetable crops or for cotton or whatever the crops we are doing the weeding operation. The next important operation is the pruning operation that has to be done by either by the robots. Suppose if the robots, if we are not able to achieve, then we can either make use of a mini tractor operated pruners or the medium tractor operated pruners, which can be very well operated in our orchard tree crops. Then another important area which we are facing a lot of troubles is harvesting of fruits, especially the mango and sapoto and other fruit crops. If it does a very good attempt to do the harvesting of fruit by robot or some other means, definitely it is a big relief for the orchard growers. Then as such, the agricultural drones for spraying is attempted in Tamil Nadu here and there. Then we are in the process of optimizing the nozzle whenever we are doing for the spraying operation. Then the research need, if we come for the paddy crop, especially we have developed one wetland laser leveler for uniform puddling and leveling. So this has to be, we are trying for commercialization. Then if you use this equipment, definitely it will be conserving the water, which is a very good input. If you conserve the water, automatically the area under paddy can be increased very well. So this we had given license to whether it's Farm Implements India Private Limited. And another important equipment which I want to share is the remotely operated unmanned pelletized rice seeder, which is an replacement of existing transplanter. So with the existing transplanters, we could be able to see maintaining the row to row distance, but within a row we can adjust the plant to plant distance. But it's not possible to have the check row planting. So the check row planting is also one of the recommendations given by number of workers conference. But again, if you use this remotely operated unmanned pelletized rice seeder, we can tremendously reduce this usage of a transplanter, as well as at a place we can minimum have 2 to 3 seedlings per hill. The next is automated power weeder. So as such, the transplanted paddy crop is weeded by this paddy power weeder, which we have developed under our ICAR-IARI FIM. So this can be very well used for taking weeding in between the rows, but between the plants row spacing within a row, it's not possible. So if we have to make an attempt either to make a check row weeder as well as an automated power weeder by making modifications in the existing paddy power weeder, which will be reducing the human intervention. We can avoid in walk behind the weeder in the paddy fields. Next is the drone-based spray schedule. So this we are also trying now. And another important thing is, though the combine harvesters are very much available in Tamil Nadu, it is extensively used by our farmers. Both the track type combines and wheel type combines and other combines are available. But still, our government requires the small tractor operated combine harvester that has to be that is already available, but we have to do a little more modification to suit for our conditions present in the Tamil Nadu scenario. Then another thing is the groundnut, one of the major oilseed crop grown in southern India. For this, we already developed the cultivated seed planter. The seed planter works well, and it is farmers are adopting it as an attachment to the tractor. But we require a precision seed planter because the cost of the seed is high. So if you develop a precision seed planter, which can be used very well for both rainfed condition and irrigated condition, it will be highly useful. Then similarly, the automated row crop weeder. So if you consider the groundnut crop, the row to row spacing between the rows is 30 centimeters. So as such, we don't have any weeder for performing weeding operation with this narrow spacing. So we have to attempt a weeder which can be very well useful for removing weeds between the rows in a crop. As such, now we are in the process of purchasing a mini tractor with row crop wheel, so that we may try for the row crop weeder. But the automation again we have to make it in a separate attempt. Then another important operation which requires huge labor is between the 40 to 45 days of crop growth of groundnut, we have to apply the gypsum. Then we go to do the earthing up operation, which promotes a very good development of the kernel in the groundnut part. So we have to make a separate attachment for this fertilizer application earthing device as a mini tractor attachment. So this is also need of the hour. Once this is developed means then automation we can incorporate GPS, then we can do it. Then the drone based spray schedule. So this we are attempting it. Then another thing is a small tractor operated combined harvester. So yes, this is the combined harvester which we have developed in the ICAR-IARI is based upon the paired row system, which requires the raised bed system of cultivation. But our Department of Agriculture insists us to develop a combined harvester which should suit for the existing adjacent furrow as well as the flatbed system, which should incorporate both the harvesting mechanism as well as the stripping mechanism. So that we are trying it. Once if we develop, then the automation, it won't be a much problem. So these are the things which we require for the ground crop. Then comes the sugarcane. So sugarcane, there is no problem, absolutely no problem. We are having very good tractor operated set cutter planter and tractor operated sealing planter. So we should analyze the scope of automation of both these machines, which will be definitely make a challenging introduction in the sugarcane cultivation. So in Tamil Nadu, both the equipments are picking up very well. Then another important thing is for a weeding operation. Yes, we are recommending either the mini tractor or the power tiller. Though the wide spacing is adopted of 4 to 5 feet, then even then that space is not sufficient when it is having a lot of fruiting. So we have to develop a separate power weeder which does the two operations. One is the intercultural operation as well as the earthing up operation. Then we tried for the drone based spray system for crop booster. So that gives a very good results. Anyhow, we are in the process of finalizing the nozzles dimensions and at what height it has to be placed and all. We are doing some research on that. Then another important thing which requires is the tractor operated de-stresser. Though the center has developed a manually operated sugarcane de-stresser, which warrants a huge labor also, but it reduces the drudgery. But our farmer requirement is the tractor operated de-stresser. So we took this project and we are in the development of a tractor operated de-stresser. Already we are doing it by incorporating a private manufacturer. Definitely this as an attachment to the mini tractor definitely will be much helpful in doing the de-tressing operation. Then another important thing which is required by our government of Tamil Nadu is a tractor operated whole cane combined harvester. The present cost of the combined whole cane combined harvester, as such, it is between 85 lakhs to 1.2 crores. So that much cost nobody is coming to invest. But the private sugar mills company, they are employing this billet cane combined harvester. But we have to develop a tractor operated whole cane combined harvester, either a mini tractor operated or a tractor operated, which will be much useful. But the mini tractor operated already the CIAE regional center is developing, but they also require some incorporation of the other components to make it as a feasible one. The next is the pulses. So pulses is the one of the major crop cultivated in southern India. Mainly it is confined with our green gram and black gram. So yes, we are having a tractor operated pulse seeder. That is a pulse seeder is available. So inclined plate mechanism is being adopted. Even then the seed rate requirement is more. So we should make an attach. We should make an a research in making the seed planter as an automated one. Then we are having. Then again we go to develop a automated row crop feeder, especially for the pulse crops. Then yes, is the drone based spray schedule. We are in the development. And another is the important need is mini tractor operated pulse combined harvester, which may be useful for both the green gram and the black gram. So this also we have to do it in an alarming manner. Then another important crop which is very much coming is the millets crop. In the millets crop, already we are having a very good air-rested seedle and air-rested planter is available, through which we can do the high-speed sowing of seeds, which gives a very good saving in time as well as the labor. Once if the crop comes out, again the same problem comes, that is the weeding. So we have to develop an exclusive row crop weeder. Then another requirement from our Tamil Nadu government is the tractor operated combined harvester, especially for the millets crop. So though the paddy combined harvesters are used, still there is some problem with respect to the threshing and winnowing. Again, our scientists, we are going to formulate new projects and we make some interventions in that. Then another important thing is the cotton crop. The existing pneumatic seed planter, it works well, there is no problem. Then again, the problem here comes, the automated row crop weeder is not there. If he does this row crop weeder with row crop wheels, definitely it will help the farmers to increase the area under cultivation. Then the drone-based spray schedule, this also we are doing it. Then the cotton harvester. In fact, I'm happy to inform to the dignitaries that our university had already developed a variety which is having a synchronized boll maturity. So once if you have the synchronized boll matured, then that can be very well used by the very well harvested by either using the John Deere tractor operated harvester or Shaktiman tractor operated harvester. So these harvester trails we are going to take with Messrs. Rossi Seeds Corporation, which is located at Athor. Then another important area where we require our intervention is the automatic portrait shredder for vegetable seeds, through which we can raise the vegetable seedlings like tomato, brinjal, and chilies. Once if we develop these seedlings, then we are having the semi-automatic vegetable transplanter. If you do certain modification to make it as automated, then it will reduce the labor tremendously. And one more thing required is selective herbicide applicator. So we developed long back, but now again we are doing some more refinement with respect to this herbicide applicator. Then another important one area which we hope to focus is the robotic vegetable harvester. So this is the need of the hour. Everywhere labor shortage is there. Here we hope to make a selective picking mechanism for vegetable crops like brinjal, chilies, and tomato. Then next is one of the crop which we need our concentration for plucking the flowers, especially for the jasmine crop. Then for fruit crops, we hope to focus our great idea for mango, sapota, for which we should develop automatic pruner and harvester. So this mango area is getting increased in southern India. So this attempt also we have to make it. Though the platforms are developed, the platforms applicability in the mango orchard is again a challenging job. Then another area which we require our concentration for developing a precision equipment is for onion. Onion crop, I mean to say both the aggregated onion as well as the Bellary onion, which requires a transplanter. This transplanter already our MPKV Rogri Center, I think they had developed. If you developed the transplanter mechanism, if you incorporate the GPS controlled automatic system, which will be helpful for our farmers. Then in the again, the weeding is a major problem in our aggregated onion as well as the Bellary onion. So these closely spaced crops, we hope to make an attempt in developing a robotic weeder for both the crops. Then another challenge which we are facing is the aggregated onion is a detopper. So detopping we used to do at the time of harvesting the cotton, at the time of harvesting the onion. Then you have to do the harvester. In fact, our ICAR-IARI FIM center, they developed one machine exclusively for the aggregated harvester. But we had what we made is we had harvested the entire crop. It works well. Then we would to leave it for 2 days so that the top stalks gets dried. Then afterwards we can store it, or we can remove these stalks by manual cutting. So this problem we are going to attempt. Then another important area which is known as the automated coconut climber or automated coconut harvester. In fact, I'm happy to inform that our TNAU Coimbatore Center developed a manually operated coconut tree climber, which is very well liked by our farmers. Though it is very well liked by our unskilled laborers, cost is also 4,000 rupees only. Anyone can try, and we can easily pluck the coconut from the tree. But because of our esteemed DDG's intervention, we had a very good participatory mode of conducting research with a private partner, and we developed an automated coconut climber. Again, the climber works well. It works ascending and descending. There is no problem. But plucking coconut, again, we go to
Sridhar, please complete.
prawns, then we go to enter.
Sridhar.
So that is also one problem. Then, though our center here developed the platform for coconut harvesting, the cost is around 8 lakhs. If you attach this 8 lakhs platform with 8 lakhs tractor, then only it can be used. So like this, number of problems are there where we go to focus our attention. So far, I discussed only with the open field agriculture system, but the closed field agriculture system is
Sridhar, please complete. Please
one complete. Is the automated polygon system in which sensor-based control system. All these things we hope to see some small equipments, small farm equipments has to be developed.
Sridhar, please complete.
So that's all. I thank the authorities for giving me an opportunity to share my views with respect to the research needs for our country with respect to our precision farm equipment. Thank you a lot for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much giving such a exhaustive presentation. Thank you, Dr. Sridhar. Now I welcome Dr. Manjeet Singh, scientist in PAU Ludhiana. Dr. Manjeet Singh, we know you all are teachers, so there is you can speak for hours, but please maintain the timing. Dr. Manjeet Singh, please. Dr. Manjeet Singh.
Thank you, Dr. Sahoo.
Yeah, thank you.
So I am sharing.
उसके साथ जो मतलब चलाने के लिए जो कंप्यूटर के साथ इंटरफेस को कन्वर्ट होने के लिए उसको वो चाहिए ना माइक्रो कंट्रोलर भी है। हाँ वो आर्डिनो बोर्ड जो है उसके अंदर के चिप आता है वो
बैकग्राउंड नॉइज।
It is visible, Dr. Manjeet Singh. It is visible and you are audible. Please
okay. So most respected DDG Saab, Dr. Gajendra Singh ji, Dr. Indra ji, and all other dignitaries, experts, my fellow colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. So my topic is advances in precision spraying for this national webinar on precision farm equipment, future research needs for India. So this is very important topic, as we all know that there is much more mechanization or sufficient mechanization is there in tillages as well as seeding, sowing, harvesting, threshing. But this spraying is still needs mechanization. So being agricultural engineers or farm machinery experts, so we have to look this area also. So side by side, we can also go for mechanization as well as for the precision. So this, as we all know, this type of sprayer is most popular in India, manually operated knapsack sprayer. So this method is very exhaustive, time consuming, coverage is very low. Operator does not take any care for his exposure to toxic pesticides. So these issues we all know in this type of sprayer. I have also shown some pictures to use this as correct method is first one, and then both of the methods other are not the correct methods to operate this type of equipment. So then this equipment is also popular among the farmers. This is tractor operated gun sprayer having this long length of pipe about 100 meter, and then nozzle is gun type, field capacity is very low, then swath width is 7.3 meter, but disadvantage not this uniform pattern of spray. Hence non-uniform spraying, more ground losses due to this large droplets being done, and then higher labor requirements. So this is also, we are not recommending from the university this type of sprayer, but farmers are using this. So then this type of sprayer is also popular. Boom type sprayer are although very much uniform because there is uniform pattern of spraying is there, but only at the top canopy. So this normal ground clearance of tractor is not suitable for higher growth stages, especially for the cotton crop. So this is also having some issues. Then recently we developed this type of sprayer. So what we did, we put wiper motors on the frame of this sprayer, and then we put this guns on this wiper motors. So there is somewhat uniform pattern. So uniform spraying is there. So now farmers are adopting this type of sprayer. So this is good for not for the at the higher stages of the crop, but for the initial stages, this sprayer is all right, especially for this cotton crop and potatoes. So this sprayer is being used by the farmers now. So then there was another interventions we done that because this white fly this was pest was too much there in for the cotton crop in 2017. So there was hue and cry by the farmers that there is no spray technology is effective for this white fly control. So then we did that. We put some this drop down or drop up nozzles. These nozzles, you can see that they are putting in between these rows, and then spray is sprayed on the bottom part of the canopy or underside of the leaves. So this was small interventions done by this, and this was very much farmers were adopting this type of technology. So then this type of sprayer, finally we come to this type of, we develop this type of sprayer as this is high mounted on the high clearance tractor. There is these all 2-3 types of nozzles were mounted as boom type nozzles were there. Then this drop down nozzles were there, gun type nozzles were there. So there was too much, this capacity was good of this machine, and this was high clearance. So this can be operated at the all stages of the cotton crop. So this was earlier by making tractor high clearance, and then we also developed this sprayer as the on the right hand side of this slide. So this is self-propelled sprayer. So tractor also was removed, and this was made high clearance type of sprayer. So this is too much accepted by the farmers. So then we done this operational cost of these different type of sprayers. So this high clearance sprayer is having only cost of operation rupees 150, you can say, about per hectare. So there was 95% labor saving as compared to knapsack sprayer, which was having this cost of operation 425 rupees per hectare. So this was the comparison of the cost as well as labor saving for the different sprayers. Then we demonstrated on our own by the university. We demonstrated 2 sprayers in 2018 in Fazilka district. This is Cotton Belt area of Punjab. So we covered this 412 acres with 130 number of farmers. And then 2019, such type of five such type of sprayers were demonstrated at about 1400 acres in 11 villages of this, again, Fazilka district in Cotton Belt area of Punjab. Similarly, in the year 2020, we demonstrated 2 multi-purpose sprayer, and all these 5 were given to all the KVKs for the better demonstration. And then farmers were highly satisfied with the performance of the sprayer. So farmers were charged only rupees 120 per acre, covering fuel and operator charges only. So, and farmers were free to spray any insecticide, pesticide that was recommended by the university. So then we also done for the paddy crop, the small interventions, this the paddy transplanter already there with the farmers. So we removed that transplanting mechanism from this system, and we put spraying system on this paddy transplanter, or you can say paddy vehicle. So this was also good for the crops like wheat and paddy, because this is having narrow wheels. So this sprayer was also recommended by the university. So this is for the, especially for the weedicide spray. So this is having a simultaneous application of pre-emergence herbicide, and crop was this, especially DSR. For the paddy, when direct seeding of paddy was done by this machine or seed planter. So simultaneously this herbicide application was done by the spraying attachment. So this is, you can say, multi-purpose machine were doing this sowing, seeding, as well as spraying of the herbicides. So this interventions was done by the farmers. They have done in this COVID crisis. So they put all these tanks in front of the tractor, and then they were having this machine seeding for the seeding of the paddy, direct seeding of paddy, DSR. So they put this tank and spraying system for the insecticide spray. So this interventions was done by the farmers in Punjab. So then we are also doing work on this electrostatic sprayer. One electrostatic sprayer we procured from USA. And then we indigenously developed, we were having one DST funded project. So in that project, we indigenized this, especially the nozzle, electrostatic nozzle. And then technology was also transferred to one manufacturer here in Ludhiana, as well as one in Rajasthan, Alwar. So this has been developed now by being developed by the industry. So this comparison was done for the technical parameters for the imported spray nozzle, or you can say indigenously developed this electrostatic sprayer. So this performance was at par with this imported one. So these are some other performance parameters like these NMD, VMD, uniformity coefficient, insect mortality. So all these parameters we compared with this imported one. Then the manufacturer which has taken this technology from Alwar, so Rajasthan, he also developed this sprayer for the, you can say, disinfection for during this COVID situation. So he developed this e-spray, this was given to some hospitals, and so this he has developed their own. So then you can say precision in spraying. So this satellite navigator, if this can be fitted to the tractor, or so this is seen to the driver. So there will be no overlap, and there will be no skips. So this satellite navigator, this we procured, and then we are using this, or we are evaluating this for the spraying, as well as other operations also done by the tractor. So this automatic spray section control system, this we are also putting on our high clearance sprayer. So this is basically used when there is change in the speed of the forward speed of the tractor. So there is change in the application rate. So by using this system, section control system, there is a uniform discharge of the application. Then it also eliminates waste and reduce input cost by 15%. So there is also lesser stress and fatigue, and this is better for the environment. This is, you can see this, we put this automatic section control system on this self-propelled high clearance system. This is having 3 sections, left side, you can see right side, and then in between that middle side. So there are 3 types of section, boom section 1, 2, and 3. So this is shown that how this was put on the high clearance sprayer. So there was measurement of discharge rate as well as spray tip pressure. So these these instruments were installed to measure discharge rate as well as pressure. So this is data that you can see that there is a lot of variation in the field in discharge rate, as we are assuming that this is uniform, but that is not uniform because many parameters as there is in the field. So there is also change of speed. Due to that speed, there are variation in discharge pressure. So all these parameters are varying. So when we put this system, automatic that sprayer control system. So now you can see there are two modes are there. One is auto mode and then manual mode. So you can see that in manual mode there is a lot of variations in this application rate, but in auto mode there are very small variation. There are variation, but because there is some also GPS error and all these sensor errors, all these are there. So that's why there are some changes in the application rate. Then automatic section control. So this we have recently procured, and now we will put this also on our spraying system, this high clearance. So this will basically helpful at the headland turns and then point rows, then terraces and waterways. So this can also be will be evaluated in the near future. So we are also using this drone for the spraying purpose, especially. This can also be used for the nutrient application as well as mapping of quality and yield of produce. So these are different image processing steps, and then this can also be used for the measurement of how much is the lodging of the crops. So we are basically we are using spraying purpose as well as for the lodging and unlodging of the crop. So these are some important specifications for the drone which we procured. So this is having, you can say, maximum flight duration 15 to 20 minutes. Nozzles having 0.85 liters per minute discharge. Then spray width is 3.5 meters. So this battery lithium polymer charging time, and then for the crops we are using for the rice, wheat, cotton, as well as for the orchards. So these are some demonstration of this at the farmer's field for the guava crop, for the guava orchard. So these are measurements by having this water sensitive paper. Then these are some field performance results. So field capacity is theoretical 3 to 3.3 hectare per hour, but actual field capacity, when we count all these landing time, takeoff time, time delay during turning, so all this, if we calculate, then it's approximately 2 hectare per hour. Spray rate is there, spray swath width is there. So all these are field performance results. These are some laboratory data for the how much coverage, droplet density, NMD, VMD, and we are comparing it with the knapsack sprayer. So this is also efficacy data for the control of insects. So after 1 day, 2 days, 7 days, so these are some results, but it is at par with the knapsack sprayer as far as these results are there about the efficacy of the insects. But important observation, battery endurance time, payload capacity is lower as a safety measure area near the electricity cables and poles installed in the field cannot be sprayed. In manual mode, the operator skill is very important for the operation of drone in orchards, particularly at large distance. There is issue of visibility and control of overlap. So these are some important observations. So this was as drone was allowed for the locust control in some areas like Rajasthan, MP, and Maharashtra. So this aeroblast or cannon sprayer can also be used for this purpose. So these are some special approval by the Government of India for the spraying system using drone on locust. So that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Manjeet. Excellent presentation. Without taking much time, because we are just running a little behind the schedule. Let me invite Dr. Hifjur Raheman, Professor in IIT Kharagpur, for his talk on precision in tillage operation. Dr. Hifjur Raheman, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Sahoo. Is my screen shared?
Not yet.
It will take some time.
My screen is shared?
No, still not visible.
No, it is not coming.
You are made the host. Now you are the host.
No, that is okay. That Zoom is not. Should I go out and then come?
Yeah, that will be better. No. Just wait. It is already 98 participants. So.
Yes, sir. Can. It can.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let me join again.
Yes, please. Please unmute yourself. Please unmute and share the screen.
Now it is okay?
Yeah. It presentation mode, please.
Yeah.
Right, so.
Okay now?
Yes, please. Please continue.
Good afternoon, respected DDG, Dr. Alagusundaram, Dr. A.K. Singh, Director IARI, my Guruji, Professor Gajendra Singh, Dr. Indra, Professor Srivastava, Professor Vishwanathan, Shridar, and my keynote speakers, participants. Let me start with this. The topic is precision in tillage operations. As you know, tillage is one of the important operations and which you cannot neglect. Among all the agricultural operations, tillage has the highest energy requirement, and it is accomplished by one of the three sources which I've indicated here. Either you can take dropper power, or you can take the PTO power, or you can take combination of dropper and PTO power. And dropper power is most commonly used, but it is one of the most inefficient power outlet. But still we are using. So the important parameters to be monitored in the dropper power is your wheel slip. As wheel slip will decide everything. Whatever is pool is coming in a given cell condition for a given situation for a load coming in the power wheels, that wheel slip will decide how much power will be converted to useful power. So in other words, to get maximum torque efficiency, we have to have a slip range between 15 to 20%. So here comes the role, how to measure this wheel slip so that you can get maximum output from the tractor. So there are different ways. You can use Doppler microradar device. We can use electronic circuits. We can use simple Hall sensors. So these are some of the things which are available, but till today, no tractor is provided with this kind of sensors. Even if you know that sleep is the deciding factor in maximizing the dropper power. So some of the simplest devices which have been developed, instruments which have been developed at IIT Kharagpur for sensing draft, because it's the draft which will create sleep. So the draft measuring instruments are available. Basically, there is a 3-point hitch dynamometers. We are going to fix the load cells on the 3 hitch points, and then we try to record how much is the pool coming. Then you convert it to the draft by utilizing this equation. So draft is not the only component. Then comes your wheel slip, and wheel slip you can go for Hall sensors, or you can use the proximity sensors. And with the help of a microcontroller, you can count the number of pulses which are coming, and from there you can convert it to wheel slip. And these are the equations which can be utilized. Then only sensing will not help. Actually, you have to show it to the operator, or we have to give a display to the operator, so that operator will be in a position to know, yes, my tractor is operating in the right range, so that I'll get the maximum output. So you have developed a wheel slip indicating device, and which is shown in this figure. There we have used Hall sensors, and with the help of a microcontroller, we are going to count the number of pulses, and those pulses are being converted, as I said, by utilizing those equations which I've given in the previous slide. Then the total system, signal processing and display unit, what are the components it comprises of, and it is basically a microcontroller program is to be written, nothing else. And the sensors are very cheap. The Hall sensors are very cheap, so you can develop that kind of system. But the warning system is very important. Only display sometimes may not attract the operator. We have to give some signals to the operator so that he can know, yes, my things are running rightly. So we have indicated a green, yellow, and red buzzer or LED. Then the green will indicate, okay, my fuel economy zone. That means the draft is this particular range of draft. Sleep range is 10 to 15%. Then we call it as a green range. When it is the yellow range, the draft is little higher, and sleep is beyond 15%. And in the red range, that means when the red LED is on, that means the draft is too high and the sleep is more than 20%. So when this LED will be on, so that the operator can know, okay, I am in this zone. So what should I do now? Either reduce the depth, so that sleep will be controlled and draft will be controlled. Then the other important thing is your depth control device, by which you can control the draft. So if depth is more, then we have to raise it. So the raising of implement is done by a stepper motor, and the stepper motor will be getting signals from the first we have to give what is the sleep. If the sleep is more, then it will give a signal to the stepper motor, and the stepper motor will try to raise it or lower it depending on the sleep. So this is how the concept we have taken. And let me show the slide so that it will be video. The first one is in the laboratory. You can say you can see how the three-point linkage is moving up and down with the help of using a stepper motor. And the second one is this depth sensing device by which you can maintain a sleep, constant sleep. So during the operation, the sleep will be indicated, and that will be being through a microcontroller to the signals to the stepper motor. Okay, next thing is once we develop this kind of sensors, that will not give you exactly whether the tractor and the implement is perfectly matched or not. Because what we got from our simulation studies is, if you are taking a 20 HP tractor, 27 kilowatt tractor, or 31 kilowatt tractor, at the end, what we have observed is when you are operating a 9-10 cultivator, there is a good amount of drawbar power remaining unutilized. So if you look at the last two columns, you can see I've taken one equation which has been developed by IIT itself, and the other equation which I have taken from the ISAE. So there you can see 20 to 30%, even more than 30% in some cases, even to the tune of 50%. So this is excluding the 20% of power reserve. So that means huge amount of power is wasted if you are not going to utilize properly match the implement with the tractor. So what we have to do now is how to utilize this power which is available. So the disadvantage of conventional tillage implements is when you go with a cultivator or when you go with a moldboard plow, there is a good amount of power remaining in the drawbar. So when you are operating a conventional tillage implement, we have to go 3 to 4 times to prepare the seed bed. So as a result, what will happen? There will be soil compaction, there will be more fuel consumption, there will be losses of power, you require more time, you require more labor. So how to overcome this? So this is possible if you can increase the speed of operation or you can increase the width of cut. But these two possibilities are difficult in our situation, Indian situations. Our land sizes are not that high. So what we have to do is we have to go for combining different operations so that we can utilize the drawbar power which is available. So when we go for combining, either you can go combine passive tillage implement, or you can combine with passive and active tillage implement. So by simulation, again, we found out that power utilization, you can see PUT is a power utilization, and what is the sleep, then front wheel weight utilization factor. All those are good for a tractor having 27 kilowatt. If you look at 27 kilowatt, if you're operating a 2-bottom moldboard plow, the power utilization is 83%. When you are using a 910 cultivator at a forward speed of 6 kilometers per hour, then power utilization is 100%. Otherwise, power utilization will be reduced. Then we developed these two combination tillage implements with this. One is your cultivator with a disc harrow. The other one is moldboard plow with a disc gang. So I'll show this. These are the figures of those implement developed. Then I'll show the field operation. You can see. So a moldboard plow followed by a disc gang which is attached to the side, so that whatever soil is inverted, the disc harrow will go, going to pulverize the soil. Similarly, you have developed a cultivator disc harrow, and I'll show the video. So by doing these combinations, what you have done exactly is you have improved the power utilization. At the same time, you can prepare the seed bed with less time. You don't have to go 4 times into the field. Maybe twice, if you go with this combination tillage implement, you can do the same kind of, you can get the same kind of tilth what you are getting in 4 times. So this is the field condition after operation of combination tillage. If you see the first one is the barren land. Then if I go for one passage of moldboard plow, this is the situation. If I go with moldboard plow and disc harrow, this is the field condition. And if I go moldboard plow disc harrow and cultivator disc harrow, you can see the soil tilth. So this table shows you the total performance. We evaluated in terms of mean weight diameter, in terms of soil inversion, in terms of how much volume of soil handled, what is the actual field capacity, field efficiency, fuel consumption, and tillage performance index. So if you look at moldboard plow is consuming 3.1 liter per hour, and if you are using moldboard plow with disc gang, it is consuming 3.7. But to get the same tilth, we have to go twice. We have to go with a moldboard plow, then a cultivator. But here you don't have to go with a cultivator. That means instead of 6.7 liters, we are consuming only around 4 liters. So that is the gain. And at the same time, we will save time. So these are the comparison of different processes when you go. So finally, what you got from here is, when you compare different tillage practices, you can see very clearly it is written. If you are going with individual tillage implements, first with moldboard plow, then again you go with offset disc harrow, then with compared to this one, when you go with a combination tillage implement, motor plant Disc-Engg combination, then you can save fuel by 26%, time by 30%. Similarly, you can see in the table what is the gain in fuel consumption and what is the gain in time. So what we conclude from here is the developed combination tillage implements could be operated successfully in sandy clay loam soil with a 30 kilowatt two-wheel drive tractor within the slip range of 15% at a normal depth of 12 centimeter. The tillage performance index of combination tillage implements were found to be higher than the respective individual tillage implements. And the tillage practices involving different combination tillage implements outperform the tillage practices involving respective individual tillage implements, where you can save fuel, where you can save time. So these are the advantages. Then comes your, what I have shown so far is passive-passive combination. Now what we are going to see is the active-passive tillage implements. What is the gain? It increases the tiller energy efficiency. It reduces the total draft of the implement. It reduces the wheel slip. Because when you are going with an active tillage implement, as you know that active tillage implement is developing a negative draft. So to take care of that, if you provide another passive implement, I think the total power requirement will reduce. So that concept we developed. So this is the one which we developed. There's a gang of cultivator which are mounted in front of the rotavator. And that is called rota cultivator. So you can see the video. There are 5 tines which we attached. So this is the field condition before operation, and this is the field condition when you are operating after the tillage operation. And if you are, this is the field condition after the tillage operation. So you can see the difference. So if you try to summarize the tape performance parameters, you can see we have compared with rotavator, rota cultivator with rotavator. We can see the tillage performance index. From there, it will be very clear. But one thing we want to get from this table is there is a parameter called the peripheral speed to forward speed ratio, U by V ratio. So that is playing an important role. So if you look at the rota cultivator, when you are operating at a depth of 8 centimeter, is the U by V ratio. When it is we varied U by V ratio from 3.76 to 7.97. And what we observed is at 5.26, we are getting the maximum benefit. Benefit in terms of fuel energy consumed, benefit in terms of volume of soil handled, benefit in terms of reduction in cone index value. Similarly, for 12 centimeter also, we are getting a particular U by V ratio. Now, for a rotavator also, same thing. There is a U by V ratio where we are getting the better output. That means we have to control that U by V ratio, otherwise the benefit will not be available. So we also developed another implement called combination offset disc harrow. We can also, this is an offset disc harrow where the front gang is powered, but the rear gang is not powered, just like the normal offset disc harrow. And the purpose was to, I can show the video, to do the tillage at a lesser time. You can see how nicely it is doing this grassy land. And on the right side, I have shown you the soil conditions before operation, after operation. And then I have compared with offset disc harrow. So when I compare with offset disc harrow, which is not powered, whereas the right side is powered one, so you can see the difference. In one pass, what is the difference in tillage we are getting? Okay. So I try to summarize the performance. So if you look at this again in this table, so for each forward speed, that means E by V ratio, there is a E by V ratio varying from 2.91 to 4.91. And corresponding to forward speed of 4.55, we get EYB ratio from 2.21 to 3.49. And corresponding to a forward speed of 6.82, the EYB ratio is varying from 1.48 to 2.33. And if you look at this table, the red ones are the best combination where you are getting the maximum benefit from this kind of tillage implement, active passive combination tillage implement. So what we conclude from here is it is the E/B ratio which is controlling. So we try to measure this E/B ratio during the operation. And how do we do that? We have to measure, we have developed an embedded system by which we can measure the forward speed, we can measure the forward speed of the implement and the speed of the active tillage implement. So that ratio is to be displayed with buzzer so that the operator can know, yes, I am in the operating safe operating zone or not. So we have to have a sensor for sensing the engine speed, from where you can calculate the PTO power. Then we have a sensor for sensing sleep. Then we have a sensor for sensing draft. And then with the help of microcontroller and a sensor for sensing the torque of the PTO. Then finally it will give a display. So this is the flow chart of that instrument which we developed at IIT Kharagpur. So I'll give you the video of that one. This is the operation when the instrument is fitted to the tractor. And this is the display unit side by side, you can see. So when the sleep, if you look at this video, you can see the red LED is on. That means the E/V ratio is not in the range. So what the operator has to do is either he can decrease the forward speed, so that, or he can increase the forward speed so that E/V ratio can be brought back to the operating range where he can get the maximum benefit. Now both the lights are on. That means sleep is also beyond the range. E/V ratio is also beyond the range. So you have to bring these two back so that maximum benefit can be obtained. So how to bring back? We can reduce the depth. We can reduce. We can increase the forward speed so that E/V ratio will be brought down. So I'll show another video. It takes longer time, so now everything is okay. So that's why you're getting a green light. Now it has changed to a yellow light. That means your sleep is crossed the limit of 20%. Your sleep is more than say 32%. So these are some of the gadgets which are to be provided. If you really want to do mechanization, then we have to provide some gadgets. So at the end, what I can conclude is tillage implements are available, but they have to be provided with sensors and warning systems to better utilize the power sources so that we can carry out tillage operations more efficiently and more precisely. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Actually, when we were discussing about this, I could not find a better person than Professor Raheman to talk about precision tillage, particularly. Because usually when there is no tangible benefits to the end users, people are not interested. So in tillage, usually we don't find any tangible benefit to the end users, which they see, which they can see. There are a lot of intangible benefits in case of precision tillage. But with tillage performance index, UV ratio, the things has really come up with the group of students. Professor Raheman has done wonderful work. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your experience. Definitely, it will help us.
Dr. Sahoo.
May I invite Professor Bhattacharya, Emeritus Professor from Pantnagar. Professor Bhattacharya, please. Sir, please unmute yourself and go for the display mode.
Nice.
Below, sir. Yeah, that one. That one you can go. The top.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Sahoo.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, good evening, sir. Our DDG, Dr. Alagusundaram, sir, keynote speakers, fellow scientists and engineers. Today, I am going to share some of my views, which I gained through my experience working at GBPUAT University, which is located in a place where the cropping is a major activity, and mostly the whole area is under paddy, wheat, sugarcane rotation. And I had a wide experience working with the farmers and our university farm as well as crop research center. And what I gained from there with working with different machineries and persons, I would like to share some of my thoughts. Now, when we talk about our agricultural inputs, we always say that the vital inputs are seed, fertilizer, agricultural chemicals, water, mechanization, and agricultural credit. I would like to give credit to Dr. Kajendra Singh, which he thoroughly taught us during our visit to IIT Bangkok during year 1999. Now, what I feel is the changing scenario of agriculture in India, these inputs be added with two more inputs, that is energy. We cannot forego energy as one of the vital input in our agriculture system, because we know that human being availability is a problem. Animals are not very much reared. And then the mechanical and chemical energy which we are using, they need to be replaced by some alternates like electrical and renewable energy. Then one more thing has been noticed, that majority of the farmers are now using crop stimulants for the growth of the crop. So we cannot actually forego that. They cannot be a vital inputs in our area particularly, and I believe in Western UP, Punjab, Haryana, the farmers are using crop stimulants in a very large scale, and they are not applying it as the agricultural chemicals. They have the different mode of application. So in my opinion, instead of defining 6 vital inputs, we must include these 2 inputs, also the major inputs to Indian agriculture. Now, we all know that the seed, fertilizer, chemicals, their cost is increasing, their quality is sometimes not up to the standard, availability is problem during the sowing time, then higher application rate. What we have noticed in intensive agricultural practices, the farmers they put about 10% more seed, about 25% more chemicals and fertilizers. Water, still we are continuing with the flood irrigation, and therefore these chemicals, these inputs need to be precisely applied. Now, I have some thoughts about this. What we have to, agricultural engineers have to reorient our mechanization R&D for precise application of vital inputs. Then how? Let us take the case of seed application. What I have seen that we use the seed drills and other planters in wheat crop, direct seeded rice, oil seed, pulses. And as I said, that there is a more application of seed, particularly in wheat crop. Oil seeds, the seed application is very high, then thinning is done. Pulses, the seed application is high. But we are continuing with the conventional method of machines where the seed metering is mechanical. We derive the power from the ground wheel through a set of sprockets and chain arrangement or belt and pulley arrangement. And what I feel is that need to be totally replaced, and the ground wheel seed metering mechanism need to be changed with, it should be coupled with interchangeable variable speed electric motor, replacing all intermediate power transmission elements. This will help to actually place the accurate amount of seed into the soil without missing or without having the over application. Then this kind of technology can be adopted to all kinds of seed drills and planters which are used for various applications, including horticultural crops, which need a high degree of mechanization. And with the help of this kind, if we adopt the complete elimination of mechanical drive with the electrical drive, and with interchangeable, I am emphasizing the interchangeable variable speed motor, because that same motor can be used for other applications. The same motor can be used for the seed and fertilizer also. So we have to keep in mind that for each and every application, we cannot have a different kind of motors, because the farmer does the many kind of application for soil, then fertilizer, then application of pesticide, then application of other inputs. So we have to think of interchangeable variable speed motor where we can vary the rate. So the result would be precise application of required amount of seed. Now comes the fertilizer. Again, I advocate that the same kind of technology which I have suggested for the seed metering should be adopted, because that will give us a precise delivery of the desired rate. Chemicals. There is an abundant use of chemicals. As I said, about 25% more chemicals are being used by the farmers in this region. And I hope that same is there in Western UP, Haryana and Punjab, where the paddy wheat crop rotation is very intensive. As Dr. Manjeet Singh has shown, that the tractor drawn sprayers with 100-meter long pipe with a spray gun is used widely by the farmers in this belt, and that is a large volume application of pesticide. This is the time that we can start working on the ultra low volume applicators. Then again, we need to replace the mechanical source by electrical source. Why I am telling this is that when we are using a mechanical source, whether if you derive the power from the tractor PTO, as we have seen from Dr. Manjeet Singh's slide, that there is a large variation in the discharge. That is because the change in the power of availability from the PTO, as well as the other mechanical transmission system. So we can think of replacing the power deriving from the tractor PTO by an electric motor in the sprayers. Then sensor-based specific application, particularly in horticultural crops. The horticultural crops, actually, they are spaced in a row, as well as there is a spacing between the plants. So there is a need to develop the sensor-based area-specific application sprayers, particularly horticultural crops. And the foremost requirement is the promotion of electrostatic sprayers and busters for Indian agriculture. Coming to the water, which is one of the major source, major input, we still continuing with the flood irrigation. There is a need to discourage flood irrigation, adopt sprinkler drip irrigation, even for the field crops. Some of the experiments with the wheat crop using a drip irrigation system has been very successful, and therefore at least some of the field crops can be put under the drip irrigation. Sprinkler irrigation is very wide, particularly in Madhya Pradesh, then Chhattisgarh area, but majority of our farms do not go for the sprinkler. So time has come for the sprinkler and drip irrigation for the field crops. And the majority of farmers have, since the majority of farmers have power source like tractors, power tiller, diesel engines. So to save water, we can think of using rain gun even, which are suitable for the field crops. So water is going to be scarce in coming future. There is the utmost need to save water. So we can think of, agriculture engineers can think of using the advanced methods of irrigation. This may help in saving water, saving in time, saving in energy, saving in cost. The scope of precision in this kind of system, we can have a timer-based application, controlled application of nutrient, including fertilizer and crop stimulants, even some agricultural chemicals. Because we all know that we can have an application of the nutrients through sprinkler or drip irrigation system. We call it a fertigation system. and even some kind of chemicals can be applied. So we may orient our research towards adopting the better method of irrigation and discarding the use of flood irrigation. Then precision is required in all unit operations involving application of seed, fertilizer, chemicals, water, stimulants, including cereal, pulses, and oil seed. So Dr. Sridar has shown some of the slides where the interculture operation, plant protection operation are using through the crop protection, particularly using the drone. But there is a vast opportunity to mechanize the horticultural crops and food crops through the use of sensors and other precision equipment, particularly plucking of tomatoes, plucking of cauliflower, cabbage, oranges, apples, chilies, etc. These are the areas where the requirement is there for precision agriculture through the use of sensors and robots. Now, what I personally feel is now the energy has become a major input to the Indian agriculture. And we know that every time particularly during the sowing and harvesting time, the farmer faces the shortage of human labor, and animal energy is also very decreasing substantially. So we need to substitute. Then how to substitute them? There is a we can adopt the more mechanized equipment requiring less torque or power and driven stored electrical energy rechargeable through standby solar energy. Lot of emphasis is given on developing the electric motor operated small equipment. There is a need in the hilly areas, need in the states where the mechanization is very low. In such areas, we may have focus on the electric motor operated, battery operated equipments, which are the operations which will require lesser torque or lesser power, and which can be recharged through standby solar energy. Then there is we are using the diesel. Diesel use is increasing day by day. At least I can say in the high growing belt of Tarai belt of Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Western UP, Punjab, the requirement of diesel has gone up to about 90 liters per hectare to get a wheat yield of about 4 tons per hectare. So, and the diesel cost is increasing. So there is a need to focus on the flexi fuel engines, which can suit to various alternate liquid and gaseous fuels. So, because you see, the automobile manufacturers have they have developed the flex engines. These are not the hybrid engines, they are the flex engines which can operate on different kinds of fuels. And we know that there is a large number of diesel engines, millions of diesel engines, small diesel engines are also used in Indian agriculture for lift irrigation. So our group can think of developing the flexi fuel engines, and these flexi fuel engines can use the both liquid and gaseous fuels. So in nutshell, I would like to say that keeping the valuable inputs in mind, we have to reorient our R&D program depending upon the location where we are and the need of the farmer. And we have to think of the machineries which require less dependent on the conventional fuels, conventional energy sources, and more dependent upon the electrical or other energy sources, as well as we have to change the traditional machinery for delivery into a precision machinery by adopting the suitable methods for converting them into more precise machinery. Because the machineries may remain the same, but their discharging system, the seed discharge system, fertilizer discharge system, chemical discharge system, they can be altered and they can be replaced with, they can be changed. The mechanical system, wherever there is a mechanical system, that can be changed, and then we can adopt a suitable, precise system. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Actually, the professor always gives solution, which is very simple. So Professor Bhattacharya, he talked about this variable speed motor. Always the researchers there right now are using this variable speed DC motor, sir. And also your suggestion for this ultra low volume sprayer. When drone application is there, we have to go for that. Your suggestions are really marvelous. So thank you very much for sharing your experience, sharing your thought process. Now I am inviting another professor of mine, Dr. A.P. Srivastava. Though his health condition is not that good, but it was our request to just share his experience. Dr. A.P. Srivastava, please. Dr. A.P. Srivastava. Sir, you can just unshare your screen, Dr. Bhattacharya. Please unshare your screen. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dr. A.P. Srivastava, please. So I will contact him. If now let me request Dr. C.R. Mehta, Director CIAE Bhopal. So when this webinar was discussed, it was my request to Dr. Mehta, let us not go for this conventional system of presentation. So I just requested him to go for this index, precision index and all these things. So what the committee earlier, it was set up in NAS, they were discussing. So Professor Mehta, please share your screen and share your experience. Yeah, screen is visible. Please unmute. Screen is visible.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Now I think I am audible.
Yeah. Please.
So good afternoon, everyone. Honorable DDG Engineering, Dr. K. Alagusundaram, Professor Gajendra Singh, Dr. V.M. Myande ji, Dr. Indra, P.K. Sahoo ji, other keynote speakers like Dr. T.K. Bhattacharya, A.P. Srivastava ji may be joining soon. Participants participating from different parts of the country. First of all, I thank organizer for providing me opportunity to have a talk on precision index for farm equipment. In this seminar on precision farm equipment, future research needs in India. Initially, I was thinking that I am asked to deliver talk on precision farm machinery which are being developed in Indian agriculture system. Then I discussed with Dr. Sahoo and he informed that we expect to come out with some index. On that basis, we can quantify the type of machinery, whether it is high precise or low precise or like that. So as you know that Indian agriculture contributes only 16% to the GDP of our country. However, around 60% population is dependent on agriculture. So which shows that our labor productivity is low. And as it has already been mentioned by a few speakers that even Dr. Indra also mentioned at the start that our 86% of land holding is below 2 hectares and only 4% of land holding is above 4 hectares, so which is suitable for individual ownership of farm equipment. So that highlights the need for going for custom hiring of farm equipments. And as you know, that the labor availability in agriculture is reducing day by day. And by 2050, it is expected that 26% of our total workforce will be engaged in agriculture. So that highlights the need for going for mechanization. And in that also, you may be observing that male workers are migrating to urban area to search for job, particularly work in industry or in service sector. And in that, role of female worker will be more in future. So that also highlights the need for development of equipment which are operated by male as well as female worker, or we may call them gender-friendly farm equipments. So our approach to mechanization of Indian agriculture will be, we have to enhance the input use efficiency, and about that everyone has talked so far. Even Dr. Bhattacharya has highlighted the enhancement of input use efficiency, particularly for energy. He talked about it. And that will lead to the enhancement in cropping intensity. And if we are able to mechanize as well as we are able to reduce enhance the input use efficiency, then that will help us in reduction in cost of production, and that will also help us in reduction in drudgery of agriculture workers engaged in agriculture, and they may be continue to interested in work in agriculture. And all these requires the farm power supply, and that need to be enhanced. So today I will be talking may not be talking about the precision farm equipment which are being developed, but I will be talking about how we can categorize different equipments, whether it is precise or not, like that. So why do we need precision in farm equipments? For that also a previous speaker had talked that we have indiscriminate or non-uniform distribution of chemical, fertilizer, even seeds and pesticides, as well as even water also. So that highlights that we have to go for efficient utilization of inputs which are available, and the cost of the inputs are increasing day by day. In addition to that, farm machinery are also being manufactured by small scale manufacturers as well as big tractor manufacturers also. So quality of farm machinery which are being produced by different manufacturers are different. So that also affects the precision of those equipments being used by farmers. So now I will be talking about the operations which required, particularly from crop production mechanization point of view. So in that we can go for mechanization, or even go for talking about the precision farm equipment for land leveling, seeding and planting, fertilizer application, irrigation, interculture, chemical application, and harvesting. On number of these points, our earlier speaker have also talked about the equipment which may be suitable for enhancement in input efficiency, that may be sensor based, or that may be even electrical operated. So now I come with one definition of precision index which has been used by a few researchers. So precision index is on the basis, precision means repeatability of measurement. So if we get same value, or for example, if we get the same variation in seed rate in a row, then it is precise. We can say that the seed drill is precise. So precision index can be defined as 1 minus then variation in precision attributes, that may be parameter. For seed drill, it may be row to row, distribution of seeds in row to row, plant to plant, as well as seed depth. So there may be number of parameters. So summation of that, all those variation divided by the total number of parameters, or we can call them attributes. And if we give weightage to those attributes based on their importance, then in another formula I will be showing after a few slides. So first I will be talking about the attributes. So precision attributes of selected farm operations and equipment for land leveling. Nowadays we call that laser guided land leveler is precise farm equipment. It is suitable for fine leveling and it helps in saving of water by around 25%, particularly for rice crops. So in land leveling, mainly important is the land slope, and it's what limit of slope we want and how accurate we got that slope, and that has to be given some weightage. Here only right now I have talked only about one parameter, but if there are more parameters, then we have to give different weightage to different parameters based on their importance. For seed bed preparation, Dr. Raheman has talked a lot, particularly about the wheel sleep and performance of even the tillage machinery, and it affects the even fuel consumption by a particular machinery if there is mismatch in that machinery. And for puddling also, like puddling index is one parameter, then another is the hydraulic conductivity, and we have to assign some weightage. So there are no uniform information available that what should be the weightage given to a particular parameter to know the overall performance of that particular equipment. For seeding and planting, different kinds of seed drills, seed cum fertilizer drills, planters, as well as different kinds of crop specific planters are also available. For drills, there are some attributes which I have put in this slide, like seed rate, inter and intra-row variation in seed rate, and then seeding and drilling depth. So different parameters can be given some different weightage. Here we propose that for example, seed rate may be given 0.4 weightage. If we have only 3 parameters, then weightage of all these parameters should come to 1. So like that for planters also we have suggested some weightage, as well as we have suggested some attributes. But there may be a few more attributes which may affect the performance of a particular machinery. So that can also be included, but whatever attributes or parameter which have come into our mind that we have put in this presentation, and that presentation earlier was presented by Dr. K.K. Singh in 2016 at NAS, and that has been published in the form of a policy paper. So major finding I have used from that paper. So for like seeding and planting machinery, right now we are adopting the precision planters also in our country, and nowadays we are even talking about the sensor-based seeders as well as planters also. Even Dr. Bhattacharya has also highlighted about going for electrical or motor-based metering mechanism, so we can have precise metering of seeds like that. So there are number of parameters we have mentioned here for precision planters. Those are like single seed metering, that will be most important if we are using the precision or pneumatic planters. Then plant spacing, planting depth, as well as if there is seed damage and skips and multiple, and in that I think singulation will be one of the most important factors. So that has been given more weightage, like here we propose 0.35. For interculture operations, different kinds of like manual tools are available. In addition to that, even nowadays we are having precision, even we talk about the intra-row weeder, inter-row weeder also, and then sensor-based weeders have also been developed even in our country also. So for that also different parameters like plant damage, then desired working depth, weeding efficiency, and degree of soil pulverization. In that, plant damage will be most important, means how many weeds we have eradicated, avoiding the plant damage. So weeding efficiency and plant damage are to be given more importance. So here we propose weightage of higher weightage to those parameters. So plant protection, Dr. Manjeet Singh have had a presentation, and he talked about even knapsack sprayer, as well as now he has even talked about the sensor-based sprayers also. So in that also the different parameters of performance evaluation of spares are available, and on those some of the parameters we have listed here, and those parameters have been given some weightage also on the basis of their importance for that particular machinery. So these are some suggested attributes, and weightage also we have suggested some weightage based on discussion in that last meeting. And then for electrostatic spares, which are called nowadays most efficient spares. So for that also we have identified different attributes. In that, one of the important attribute is deposition efficiency also, as well as efficiency of that particular spraying of the particular chemical. And we have to give weightage to different parameters based on their importance. For harvesting equipment, one of the important weightage is grain loss, as well as seed breakage and cleaning efficiency. So we have to give weightage to them. Then for threshing efficiency is the most important. Then other parameters are like separation efficiency, cleaning efficiency, then grain damage. So like that, we have to give different. We have to first we have to identify the attributes or parameters which affect the performance of that particular machinery, and then we have to give the weightage to those parameters based on the importance of those parameters in the performance of that particular equipment. So qualitative, we generally call that this machine is low precise, this is very high precise. For example, broadcasting, we call it very low precision. That is not machinery, but even if we go for like manual dibblers, use of manual dibbler, hand tools, and flood irrigation, it was talked earlier also by presenters, that those are inefficient method of applying the inputs. And then we can go for better precise. So then low precise we have identified like animal drawn implements, seed cum fertilizer drills, disc harrow, knapsack spares. If we want to talk about moderate, then seed cum fertilizer, then next we can go for like plant to plant spacing. If we maintain it, then we can go for inclined plate planters. So those are better precise as compared to seed cum fertilizer. And if we want to go for higher precision, then we have to go for precision planters or pneumatic planters we make using nowadays. And for different, like here we have categorized like in moderate different machinery like reaper binders, area sprayers, then moldboard plow. For high, even I talked about the pneumatic planters, then inter-row rotary cultivator, then aeroblast spares, and even micro irrigation system like the sprinkler irrigation, we have put that into the high precision equipment, and under very high, we put that drip irrigation. So that is having higher input, higher water use efficiency, and we have put the pneumatic precision planter in very high. It may be put in high, and very high we may put even sensor based spares also. Even nowadays we are working on variable rate technology also. Those are very high precise. So this is the precision index formula which is revised based on the in this one example has been given how we can calculate the precision index, for example, for seed cum fertilizer tree. For example, intra-row seed rate variability is 12%, then it will be 0.12. It is given in decimal point. Then inter-row seed rate variability, if it is 8%, then its value will be 0.08. Then seeding depth, if there is variability for during testing of that particular machinery, then if it is showing 15%, then it will be 0.15. And then relative placement of fertilizer, if there is variability of around 11%, then it will be 0.11. So we will add all those and divide by, if there are 4 parameters, divide by 4, then we subtract this value from the 1. Then we got the like precision index 0.885 without giving weightage to different parameters. So in this formula, we have given weightage also to different parameters. So WIE is weightage of each parameters. So formula is same, only we multiplied that variability with that weightage. variability attributes with the weightage given to that particular parameter. So these are the results of the testing of the seed cum fertilizer drill and a few planters also. So here you can see that different parameters have a different variability, and on that basis precision index has been calculated. So for different 0 till till precision index has been calculated, and it has come from 0.8 to 0.94. So here you can see that there is even more than 10% variability there between drills to drill. And for multi-crop planter, with one example, we got a precision index of 0.83. And even for potato planter, we got the precision index of 0.8. Because for nowadays, even we talk about the energy rating of different appliances being used at our houses. Some of the, for example, air conditioner are rated 5-star, 4-star, 3-star. Similarly, we have to rate our agriculture equipment also. So farmers may decide which the equipment may be better for them based on their financial capability as well as other resources. So now I come to the point, for example, the approach to mechanization. Sorry. So approach for adoption of precision farming equipment. For example, someone is using broadcasting or seed cum fertilizer drill. He may go for better precise machinery like in use of inclined plate planter or pneumatic planters. And we can improve the design of the machinery if we have better manufacturing facility for fabrication of different standard components of those machinery, particularly for seed cum fertilizer drill or planters. Metering mechanism and throw openers are important. And another, Dr. Manjeet Singh has also highlighted that if we can avoid overlapping, if we have some auto guidance system or some row markers with the implements, so that will help us in avoiding the overlapping also. For fertilizer also, actually nowadays in Indian condition, what we hear that over application of fertilizer is being done, particularly in some of the states. So that particular, that's why our Prime Minister have highlighted that we have to go for this testing of the soil sample, soil health card. So he highlighted the importance of that. And for nitrogen application, it is recommended generally that we have to test the soil before application of urea, whereas for phosphorus and potassium, we can go for testing of the soil for maybe at 2 to 3 years interval also. Then we have to go for like techniques like fertigation system also to apply the fertilizer with water. So that will also help us in having better fertilizer use efficiency. And nowadays, even we are talking about the use of differential depth fertilizer applicators, so that the placement of fertilizer below the soil depth or and some distance 5 to 10 centimeter side of that seed. So that will also help us in enhancing the fertilizer efficiency. In addition to that, we can go for use of like a inexpensive leaf color chart, and recently we have developed the even sped meter also costing around 5,000 meter to assess the chlorophyll content of the plant leaves, and on that basis the fertilizer can be applied particularly in rice and wheat crops. So that will also help us in saving of fertilizer. And for water saving, even everyone has talked that we can go for laser guided leveler, and it helps in saving of water by around 25%. Then we have to promote micro irrigation system, and that also government of India is putting a lot of thrust through Prime Minister Krishi Sinchai Yojana for the promotion of sprinkler and drip irrigation system to enhance the water use efficiency. Even Dr. Bhattacharya sir had talked about the use of enhancing the energy use efficiency, and even that can also be done by identifying the right pumps Then we have to also nowadays even cheaper moisture-based sensors are also available, and we can put on the irrigation system on and off based on the soil moisture available in the field. So such technology can be applied in Indian agriculture, and that will help us in having better precision. For spraying also, every spraying equipment need to be calibrated prior to their use, so we may get the right amount, right application rate as required for that particular crop. Then earlier speaker have also highlighted the popularization of electrostatic sprayer, and nowadays due to intervention from R&D institutes, the cost of those electrostatic sprayer is going down. In addition to that, we can even introduce the uniform rate spraying system. Recently, we developed that maintains the spraying rate is irrespective of forward speed of tractor, and even at turning, it stops spraying also. So such technology can be used in Indian agriculture, and those are cheap also. And number of R&D organization, including IIT Kharagpur, have developed the sensor-based sprayer. So it identifies the canopies and do the spraying only. So it also helps in saving of pesticides by around 50%. In developed countries, you may have observed that yield monitors are part of the combine. However, these are not part of combine in Indian condition. And so if we put the yield monitor on the combine, and if we monitor the yield variability within the fields, then we can know the source of the yield variability, and we can take actions to have better yield from that particular field. In addition to that, in the fabrication of machinery, if we want to have the better manufacturing of precise equipment, then we have to go for jigs and fixtures for manufacturing of interchangeable components. Then we have to maintain the tolerances and fits, as well as in manufacturing of different standard components. In addition to that, we have to go for proper heat treatment as well as finish for the different components. And nowadays, big manufacturers are adopting all such better practices in manufacturing of farm machinery, but still many small manufacturers are not having facility for manufacturing good quality machinery, and that affects the precision of that particular machinery. Then under testing also, we have standards for testing of different farm equipments. So that also highlights the need for revision of those standards, particularly for precise input application of the different inputs. And in addition to that, right now we don't have minimum performance standard for different equipments. We have minimum performance standard for tractor, combine, and power tiller, but we don't have minimum performance standards for different farm machinery being sold in our country. So there are number of centers, more than 35 centers are doing the testing of farm machinery, but they are just doing the testing. They are not in a position to compare the performance of that particular machinery against a minimum performance standard. So those standards need to be developed, and right now we are in the process of developing those standards with the help of BIS. In addition to that, it is recommended that while testing, we have to come out with the precision index for different machinery also, so as well as components, and those may be reported while doing the testing also, so that those may be added in the standards. So in the end, I conclude with the words that there are a number of opportunities for adoption of precision farm equipments, and that will help in increasing the productivity, reducing the cost of production, improving input use efficiency, reducing environment pollution and soil degradation, and it will even help in doubling the farmers' income as envisaged by our Prime Minister by 2022. And if we want to promote the precision farm equipment, we need support from the government, and also private sector also need to support the farmers through subsidy, as well as government should give more subsidy, particularly on more precise farm equipment. So that will help in saving the inputs, as well as that will help in saving the energy also. And there are number of precision farm equipments are being developed, but those need to be tested and those need to be reliable. Then farmers will adopt those equipments on their fields. With these words, I thank again organizer for providing me opportunity to talk about the precision of individual equipment, which we generally ignore. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So it is an exhaustive presentation. So with the permission of chair, just few minutes for a discussion, because in the audience, Professor Gajendra Singh is there, Professor V.M. Mahende is there, many dignitaries are there. So with the permission of chair, can I
was
invite?
there also. Dr. R.T. Patil was there also.
Yes, sir. Therefore, at least their suggestions for this. So may I request Professor Gajendra Singh to chair this particular open discussion, if he can coordinate this open discussion. Professor Gajendra Singh, sir.
Sir. Professor Gajendra Singh, sir.
Sir, unmute yourself. Sir, unmute, please. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm still in bed because we started 3 o'clock, no, in the morning. I'm still with you. Okay.
We are really grateful to you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
It is 6 o'clock. Good morning. Good morning, Mehta ji. Okay, go ahead. I don't know. I'm using my mobile, so I can see Mehta now, but how do I get the questions?
Sir, you are audible. You can ask questions, sir.
No, I'm not. Well, thank you.
We just request you to coordinate, sir. I'm requesting that Sahoo to request one by one, Professor Mahende, Professor Patil, and and any other.
I will do that.
Yeah.
If anybody speaks anyway, they will appear on your screen.
Yeah.
Professor
And I once
Mahende,
again welcome Professor Gajendra Singh, Professor Mahende, Professor Vishwanathan, and all dignitaries, all senior people who spared time, and especially to Professor Gajendra Singh. I just checked that what was the time when 2 o'clock he joined. So I just saw that it was 3 a.m. So, and that's why precisely we did not want to disturb you, sir, but thank you very much for joining and guiding us. Now Dr. Sahoo, one by one, you can request.
Dr. Sahoo?
Yes, sir. So it is a request for all to just go for the on the video. You can put on your video, absolutely no problem. So Professor Mahende, sir. Professor V.M. Mahende.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sahoo. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sahoo. I think it has been indeed great opportunity to attend this webinar, and very learned speakers who have great experience in the field. I think from this webinar, I think we are certainly moving towards precision farm equipment now. The kind of experimentation that is being going on at different locations, at CIAE, at PAU, at IARI, your department, I think it was a great learning that you are definitely advancing towards a precision agriculture, precision equipment development in the country. I think the point that was discussed by Dr. Mehta was important, that although we have a lot of developments in place, we do not know exactly how precision they are. So development of precision index for different equipment is, I think, an important step. Dr. Mehta has floated some ideas about weightages and also the variations in the parameters of different equipments. I think that should be worked out now, and we should standardize the precision indexes, the parameters for precision indexes. So that will give us, and when you have a new development, new product coming in, how precision that is. I think it should be known to the public. So even if that standard, when we go for a testing, I think one of the output of the equipment could be what is the precision index of that particular equipment, so that those who are buying it or the government who are promoting it, they know that this is really a precision. So I think this is an era of precision we are moving toward. Although we are late in starting, but I think research institute is working on precision now, trying to use sensors, trying to make a robotic agriculture, digital agriculture. I think these things are very commonly spoken. ICAR is very greatly funding different organizations for working on precision agriculture. So I think this is a great step. I compliment all the speakers today. We have made the presentations, and I'm very happy actually. That's what I was all the time present right from beginning till now, very carefully listening. And I'm very happy to share that everyone has really thrown a light on right steps. Although some of the adoption of these equipments is likely to be slow. Reason is that although there is a great demand for farm implements, but we have to standardize and then it will go for an adoption. People are talking of precision mechanization only for labor saving now. The major concept in the policymakers, since there is no labor, farmers want an mechanization, some equipment. But now that concept should be more emphasized, that they want a precision. They are mechanizing agriculture for precision and timeliness, not only for labor saving, but precision and timeliness of operations should take an upper hand in future. So that kind of concept should go in the minds of people, and especially policymakers, and ultimately it will reach to state departments. So thank you very much, Dr. Sahoo and Dr. Mishra, Indra, for inviting me and saying my opinion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I really fondly remember during 1980s, your performance index of seed fertilizer drill we had used for an APCS fund, and when it was presented in the workshop, there was a lot of hue and cry. Why this type of, there is already a BIS code, why this type of, so really it is a great learning. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
At that time, I think I worked out precision index for seed fertilizer drills.
Yes, sir.
And similar to giving weightages for different parameters and also scoring for variations.
During 1988 or 87, I remember.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Okay.
So may I request Baldev Dograji, if you are listening.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir. It's great learning. And yes, we are moving towards developing.
वीडियो ऑन कर दीजिए, सबको देखने का मौका मिलेगा. अच्छा लगेगा.
जी.
Yeah, that's great.
Great.
Good afternoon, evening, seniors. Thank you, Dr. Sahoo. It's a great beginning. It's a great effort, and it's nice. I have been educated, enlightened, a lot of work Dr. Raheman has shown, and particularly that slip indicator. That's great. That's going to be a way ahead in reducing the wastage of fuel. So yes, we are moving towards precisely managing the fields, and a lot of development is taking place. Thank you, sir. I compliment all developers. Thank you. Thanks a lot for this effort, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Baldev Dograji. Sir, I could not find Dr. R.T. Patil's. Sir, R.T. Patil, sir, if you are listening.
Maybe he left.
Okay. So.
Really, he was there at the start.
Dr. Vishwanathan?
Dr. Vishwanathan is there.
Sir, may I request Dr. Vishwanathan? Dr. Vishwanathan, please.
Dr. Srivastava is actually
he is in fever actually.
Okay.
There is mild fever for Dr. Srivastava.
Okay.
So he was present at this slot.
Dr. Vishwanathan was there full time. Now he is absent.
Dr. Vishwanathan, I could not find him also.
He is not there.
We have Senthil Kumar.
Please unmute yourself.
Dr. Senthil, unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Respected DDG and other dignitaries, good afternoon to all. So today's this webinar on precision farm equipment future research needs for India, organized by ISAE in collaboration with IARI. I think this is very well planned, and so the keynote address speakers they have done, so did a lot of new areas in the precision farming equipment. So we learned lots. So starting from Dr. Shridar and Dr. Raheman, and Dr. Bhattacharya, and our director Dr. C.R. Mehta, and other presenters. They have done a lot of new ideas and new areas in the precision farming equipment. So this is a eye opener for new researchers and students and other scientists working in the precision farming equipment, sir. So thank you for giving me opportunity to share my views, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I would like basically to add something rather than just saying that, if you have some point to add, that will be really very much advantageous. We have Balchandra Babu, sir. So,
who is present?
Mr. Balchandra Babu. Actually, at this stage, we concentrated on academics, and the next stage will be with all what we prepare. Then we will discuss with taking industry and corporate together. So that's why we wanted first to set our house in academia, that what we are thinking, where we want to move. And then another session will be taking the points and emerge from here and with the industry. Idea that where should, and like Bhattacharya Sahab has gave new idea, and many people might not be thinking that in tillage this much precision is required. So many good ideas have come, and we will compile and we'll have another discussion. But at this point of time, since Mr. Balchandra Babu is there, and we would like to have his viewpoints here. Balchandra Babuji?
Earlier he was there. Now I could not find him.
Well, Sahoo, I have a small point.
Sir.
About this precision index.
Sir.
As you mentioned, it was actually put up through the NAS some time ago. I think Manjeet Singh.
2016, sir. 2016.
2016.
Yeah, I reviewed that whole document, and I was very critical of it. I think my concern was that we have a number of parameters which we are measuring. Okay, the weightage assigned to different parameters is a big challenge. Okay, so I think if different groups work on these aspects, 2-3 places, that'll be quite good, because I think Dr. Mehta has already outlined quite nicely, but weightage assigned to different parameters to come out with a index at the end, compound index, that is quite challenging.
That's the weightage as well as the range, on which range how much.
Yeah, weightage, range, as well as attributes also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it may vary from machine to machine.
Right.
If it is some crop specific, it may vary based on that particular crop also.
Exactly. So I just wanted to say that it is not a very simple thing to reach a general agreement.
Sir, actually for preparing that document also we had number of discussion, we had number of meetings, even one at PIU Ludhiana also we had long discussion. We have gone through number of test reports also. On that basis, we have come out with some parameters as well as some weightage.
No, this is
Dr.
a good
Mehta,
area.
what Professor Gajen Singh is telling that there is need of to rework, and
Yes.
that is one purpose of this meeting, that precision index, mechanization index in India's context, there is a need to Professor Singh to have a relook, and this is first step towards that side, and we will prepare a document and discuss with the learned friends, and make it more, because after that, after preparing those indices, if nobody is using, then there is no purpose. So let us make it so that it should be used, and we can connect even BIS also. What is
Yeah,
their
yeah. I think we can think of bringing out this index in the form of BIS. In fact,
Yeah.
it will have to be taken up with BIS. In fact, that will be rather a better step.
That's true. That's true.
No, that should help us in recommending which is a better equipment, okay?
Yeah.
Which manufacturer has a better equipment. So it is to advise the farmers, okay? This machine has a better, because we have a scientific basis of its
Yes, sir.
performance, okay?
That's true. That's true, sir.
Chairman, sir, already we are overshooting by 16 minutes. Should I continue for 4-5 minutes more, or?
Let us request
No,
Professor.
I want to
Gajen Singh,
thank you
if
very
we
much. Thank you. Nice to see
I think we
everybody.
should, yeah, we should
Thank you,
close
sir.
it.
So now, yeah, to
People
our
will get bored too
chief
much.
guest.
There are some attendants from Northeast also. Dr. S.N. Yadav. Dr. S.N. Yadav, if you are listening to me,
Yes, sir.
please share.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are.
Good evening, respected chairman and all the key speakers and the dignitaries and colleagues. It was really a very good webinar for me, because I'm teaching the precision farming equipment to our PG students, and particularly the concept given by Dr. Mehta sir, categorizing the machine based on the precision, low precision, medium precision, moderate precision, high precision, and then of course the precision index. Though it is not included in the syllabus, but from now on, I will try to teach, learn and teach to our students how to find out the indexes. That was a great opportunity for me to learn out of this webinar, sir. And few days back only our PG3 discussion was going on, and there was a lot of discussion whether the word precision should be used in the planter being proposed to be developed. So now I think that yes, there was precision, but not high precision, but moderate precision was there. So that is I mean to say, sir, that it was a very good learning for me from the academic point of view. Thanks for giving me.
Thank you. Madam Smita Solanki, I could see her because she's very active in Facebook, and Madam Smita Solanki.
Yes, sir.
Yes, welcome.
Respected dignitaries, sir, very good presentation was there, but as I'm working with the field, so I'm facing so many problems for the small and marginal farmer. So many good equipments are there, but in the Maharashtra, the major problem is the dryland farming, soil compaction, irrigation in mechanization. So these are the major problems, and the small marginal farming, that it has been shown that our farmer is less than average farmer is holding average 1 hectare only. So for this much 86% of the farmer, we have to give the small equipment, and the fabricator of the small equipments are not getting the subsidy or the backup or all these things. So that's why the technologies are there. On our platform, we are speaking a lot technology, but for the small marginal farmer, they are facing a lot problem even in the hilly areas. still they are working with the traditional practices, and it is difficult to cope up for the mechanization. So some solutions for the small marginal farmer, subsidy to these equipments, and some standpoint or the feedback from our ICR is required for these fabricators. This is my opinion, where I am working with the 29 villages, and this is the problem what I have faced with the tribal and the small marginal farmers, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam. And Dr. Indramani, please continue, please.
Now, should we request? I have some comment from AK Singh or anybody from ISR Lucknow. Many people have joined. ISR Lucknow. Dr. AK Singh. Then we should request our Honorable Deputy Director General Engineering, Alagusundaram Sahab.
Thank you.
Because I first think that despite all busyness, you stayed whole 3 hours. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Indramani, for calling me. And in fact, in the beginning, just one hour before the meeting, Dr. Indramani asked me whether I want to go first or last. I told him I'll go last. Maybe now I'm thinking maybe my decision was wrong, because all of you are bored. 3 hours too long to sit and then listen. And if I speak another 15-20 minutes, it will be too much of taking from my side. So I will try to be a little bit quick and fast. Please stay. Initially there were 98 people. Now there are only 83. Before the 83 becomes 75 or 70, we should finish. First of all, I must thank Dr. Indramani for inviting me to this event. And I am very glad to be here. I chose to stay the whole 3 hours, where there were a lot of backlogs on my table. I am working on it. But I wanted to listen to all of you, because we are working on precision farming, IoT-based things, automation, sensors, and all that. I really want to learn from the people who are working on the subject in the field. What do you think? And that was the idea with which I stayed. I concentrated on 85 to 87% of the presentations, except 13 to 15, I was out for phone calls and other things. But there were very wonderful presentations, though, from many people, like the, mechanization needs from Dr. Shridar, precision spraying by Dr. Manjeet Singh, precision in tillage operation by Dr. Raheman, degree of mechanization inputs by Dr. Bhattacharya, and the precision index by Dr. Mehta. Very nice subject, and I'm sure, as the Northeast man, Dr. S.N. Yadav told, it is all learning thing for most of us, and I learned quite a bit. I must also thank our respectable seniors, like our Guru, Dr. Gajendra Singh sir, who is appearing at the real odd hour, 2 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the morning. And Dr. Mayande, former Vice Chancellor and Chairman of President of ISAE, Dr. Sridar, the Dean of Agri Engineering College in Coimbatore and a good friend for 40 years. And Dr. Mehta, CAE Director, Dr. Indramani, Dr. Bhattacharya, Dr. Viswanathan, also a 40-year-long friend. Dr. Patil, who left, and Dr. Srivastava, former National Director. Thanks to all of you for participating in the event, though some of you have left already. And Dr. Gajendra Singh sir has brought out an important point. I also read that precision index document myself, and I was also very critical about it, and the material contained in it is very good, excellently done. Dr. Mehta, Dr. KK Singh and his team of people. And definitely it is something that we need to work out. And he has thrown a good idea, and I think Dr. Mehta, we should take it forward. The idea is that we should group the equipments or machinery into different things like land preparation and fertilizer applications and pesticide application, weeding, seeding, groups of equipments. For each of the groups, what is the precision index? Maybe we can ask 2 centers to work on it, or 2 centers to work together, come out with some common knowledge, and then one day we have a workshop and rework the whole thing or go through the whole presentation and precisely make it better. And maybe something like that we should think. Please let us put it in our activity and let us discuss that later. Dr. Mehta, FIM can do this within 2 months. We can come out with some very good idea. Dr. Singh sir, thank you so much for giving such an idea. And my dear friends, I am also a right person to talk about precision farming because 37 years ago, in 1984-85, Dr. Singh sir will remember, if he recalls, my work in IIT was deep placement fertilizer applicator.
Yes.
Yes, that was the time. 37 years ago, I started working on that subject. It was kind of placing the fertilizer, urea, particularly urea, near the root zone of the wetland crops.
And their
So
key word was also precision, because we wanted to put the fertilizer next to the root. Yeah.
Next to the root. That was the where do you apply, how do you apply, what depth, so that the fertilizer use efficiency is increased. That was the idea. So I worked 37 years ago. Then afterwards, we drifted to some other areas. I was just reading the Oxford Dictionary. It says precision meaning quality, condition, or fact of being exact or accurate. Precision of measurement is slightly different from precision of a machinery, which is used for agriculture operation. A measurement machine is precise when it measures an exact quantity with so much of precise decimal places and all that. But precision machine that we talk about, they are the ones that save our input, place our input to the right place at the right time, and make sure that these are all utilized by the plant properly, and our eventual objective function is higher yield and money. That was the idea of the whole thing. So basically, the precision of the Oxford Dictionary is slightly different from the precision what we are talking. Our precision is input use, increasing the input use efficiencies for eventually increasing our yield and money. That was the productivity. Dr. Mehta told productivity, yield and money. And my dear friends, this is not a new subject. Though I took a very long, I came at the end. I want to make sure 10 minutes I'll take maximum. We have been working on it since time immemorial. There are many inputs we are talking. You were talking about, many things like fertilizers, pesticides, seeds, water, this, that, and all that. There are 3 other inputs. Water is major. There are 2 other inputs we missed out always in all these talks. 2 other inputs that we put into, or 3 other inputs, I will say, are time, land space, and energy we spend on it. These 3 are missed out. Energy, somewhere people talked about it. That is why I said 2 or 3 in between. Time is a precise input, and everybody's time is value. Everybody's time is money. Farmer time is money itself. So we have been working on it all along. Since 100 years, 200 years, we have been working on machinery. We moved from man machinery to animal machinery to machine machinery. Now automation, now electrical machinery, electronics machinery. All our approaches are to reduce our time, reduce our energy input. So this is precision. We are moving to precision always. Though we are talking it as a separate terminology now, we have always moved to precision. And trust me, man is the most precise machine. Well-trained man will make the most precise activity. But it is not possible always. It is very expensive. So therefore, it is not possible. So we go for machinery. Mechanical things are precise till electrical things came into existence. They were precise till electronics things came into existence. So we basically move forward with technology. I was trying to buy a television for my house because my television is broken. And now the television technology, I'm buying a television after 10 years. I never bothered about what is available in the market. My God, what is there in the market? Last 2 days, whenever I find free time at home, I am seeing Amazon and seeing the television stuff moved so much forward. And we can never imagine so much is happening. And last television I bought was when I reached Delhi 6 years ago. In only 6 years time, from ordinary LED TV to smart LED TV, and smart LED TV to everything what you can do through a computer. I am surprised. I never knew this. If you think I am a layman, you can think like that. I am a layman. I didn't know that. So advancement in the science is moving forward. We have to catch up with the time. That's very important. So time is one of the precise thing. Land is second precise thing. We want to take more from the same land because land is shrinking. So how the input, major other input is land. How to improve our timeliness of operation. So more than instead of 2 crops, 3 crops, or is it okay to go for sustainability and all that? It's a very complex decision. But time and land and water and energy, these are all the things that we need to really continuously talk about while precision farming. Then comes our other physical inputs like fertilizer, where we spend money, cash, and farmer only when he spends the cash, he feels for it. We never feels that when he spends his time and energy on it. Drudgery reduction is a kind of precision. We are moving to precision. We are trying to reduce the drudgery of a human so that the machines become easier for him, luxury. And that is why we want to make a cabin for the tractors. American countries make air conditioning for the tractors, and cushioning the seat, and then vibration resistance, a lot of different things. Everything is boiled down finally to precision. So my dear friends, precision is, Dr. Bhattacharya was talking, and Dr. Raheman was talking about, somebody was talking about, tillage. Dr. Ahmad was talking about tillage and slip. And again, Dr. Gajan Singh sir will remember that Dr. Syed was the man who started working on the slip. When electronics was the first introduced into the world of, man, Dr. Syed started working on slip measurement. He was a student of Dr. Gajendra Singh. And that was the first of the kind of work in the world, I would say. I'm not sure, but definitely that must be in 1982, 40 years ago. He started measuring the slip on the go in the tractor. Slip is a necessary evil. Without slip, you cannot have force. So therefore, slip is important, but slip is cannot be too much because you lose energy. So there is a kind of optimization of things. So you have better energy, better output from it, better fuel efficiencies. And somebody was taking the same tillage thing. I want to mention one more point that, I visited in Punjab. I visited, there is one man, I forgot his name, Sardarji. He is doing Dr. Manjeet Singh Metal in Bathinda area, or in our, that Abohar region. There is a group of a family is working on renting the farm machinery like Uber, like Ola. They are renting farm machinery. I forgot the name of the man and the company.
Ahuja.
Whatever it is, yeah, possible. And this man, while talking, thrown a very, very vital point. He said the tractor can book the tractor. If the driver is not available, farmer himself, he knows the driving license, deposit the driving license, he can take the tractor, plow the field, and then bring it back. Everything is monitored. But the point is, if the farmer is greedy while plowing, instead of plowing, for example, 10 centimeters, if he goes for 11 centimeters deep, then the fuel is going too high. Absolutely. He says we lose money. It's he says, though it looks too big and all that, this is a problem we face. So you cannot tillage, you cannot, so much of precision is essential. If you go 1 centimeter, 1 millimeter more, so much of fuel is taken away by the vehicle, and a lot of other things inside it. So therefore, we have to be very practical in approaching our problem, very effective. And laser leveler, people were talking about laser leveler. Dr. Mehta told 25% saving in water, and definitely over the years, more and more saving in water. Wetland levelers are coming up. And fertilizer applicators, we are talking about, Dr. Mehta team is working on fertilizer applicators. And, I don't know, many of you have not presented either in the Agrithon or in Hackathon, any of your precision equipments, but there were very wonderful ideas. Dr. Singh sir and others, please listen. We plotted Agrithon from ICAR, and IARI and DYAC plotted Agrithon from their DYAC base. And there were a lot of concepts came from students and youngsters. And we were sitting in the jury in the final evaluation. There were 25 presentations came from across the country. Out of 800, split into 5 zones. 5 zones gave 5 each. Finalists, all of them came give presentation to us. For 3 full days, we were sitting in those presentations. Trust me, beautiful ideas came. And Dr. Shridar talked about robotic climbing of coconut tree. There was a nice thing came out from Goa. This Goa thing is drone-based coconut harvester. This drone brings the coconut harvesting unit to the top of the coconut tree and cut it over there. Concept, it is a partially concept, partially practical. Concept is practical is this drone is ready to go. It is capable of handling the unit. practicality missing concept is cutting the coconut bunch. Already there. And there were beautiful ideas coming out from the precision farming, like, the drone based on the go real time sensing of the soil qualities and spraying the fertilizer. 3 students placed. I think one was Dr. Manjeet Singh student, if I am right, I don't know. I don't know, so many things are happening around us. It is astonishing to see. Youngsters think our Honorable Prime Minister was right. Youngsters come out with beautiful ideas. I'm telling you, very beautiful ideas. I agree, ICAR is considering to throw the hackathon few more times in the future. Definitely it will be one more very shortly. And we are going to get good outputs from it. 25 beautiful ideas. 3 were given prize, but all are worth giving prize. Many are, at least 20 of them. All from students with one teacher, sometimes industry and all that. Time, land, water, fertilizer, chemical, seeds, produce. Finally, produce need also to be preserved. Dr. Mehta threw 2 points on it. One is the shattering loss, one is the breakage. These 2 must be avoided. Either it is harvesting or threshing machine or post-harvest operation. These must be avoided. Otherwise, what produced is going to be lost. So precision continues till the consumption. It is not ending with the farm. It is production, processing, distribution, consumption. It is a continuous chain. So we have to see the precision everywhere. And that is where agri engineers are taking the least resistance. See, I am sitting here for 6 years. I am observing all of you are agri engineers, I am assuming. But we are taking the least resistant path. Please update yourself. Go into the latest of the technologies and you will get rewarded for it sooner or later. There are a lot of youngsters I'm seeing. I go through the pages one by one, though they switch off. I see many of the photos, they look young. Please look at it. And energy, drudgery, and luxury. These are all our concepts, My dear friends, I really learned quite a bit of things. And definitely in our schemes, we will put up many of the ideas that came out today as an action point. Dr. Mehta is there, Dr. Tyagi will be there in post-harvest and all that. I will put everything, ISA, EAI, everywhere we will try to incorporate certain things. And definitely Dr. Indra, ICAR and our schemes will definitely collaborate with ISAE and IARI to do things in these directions. We are very seriously considering, already ICAR is working, IARI, basically IARI, I think physics department, there is another Sahoo. Another Sahoo is working on it and we are, Dr. Mehta is part of the whole scheme. They are working on a scheme. Only when the EFC is done, we will know whether the scheme has taken off. If so, we will play a truly major role in that scheme. So we will continue to work on it. We will continue to upgrade Indian agriculture mechanization, either it is production or post-harvest, and continue to bring in latest of the technologies to our farmers. Thank you for the opportunity, and I really enjoyed the whole thing. Sorry, I took the last window, so I had to cut down. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you
for this mesmerizing message. And you talked about when there will be 75, but till now it is 79. At one point, our capability was 100. So at one point of time, there was 99 presenters.
Yeah.
Dr. Mehta was apprehensive. If you will be delivering in the last, there are many listeners. But Dr. Mehta, you will really like it.
I like this presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. May I request my colleague, Dr. Dilip Kushwaha, to present a vote of thanks. Dr. Dilip Kushwaha, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I, on behalf of Division of Agriculture Engineering, IRI, and Indian Society of Agriculture Engineering, ISAE, and on my own behalf, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to the chief guest, Dr. K. Alagusundaram, Deputy Engineering, ICAR, who spared time from his busiest schedule to grace the occasion. In absentia, I also thank to Dr. A.K. Singh, Director IRI, who was the key person to happen this event. And I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to keynote speakers, Dr. V. Sridar, Dr. Manjeet Singh, Dr. Raheman, Dr. Bhattacharya, Dr. Srivastava, and Dr. C.R. Mehta, and to the thanks to participants, especially Dr. Gajen Singh, Dr. V.M. Mande, Dr. Baldev Dogra, Dr. R.T. Patil, Dr. Viswanathan, Dr. Santhil Kumar, Dr. Uday, Dr. S.N. Yadav, Dr. S.N. Solanki, and others who were present in this meeting. And more than 100 participants attended the meeting, and it is not possible to take name of everyone here. I thank to organizing committee member, Dr. Sahoo, Dr. Roaf, and Engineer Jitendra Rajput, who helped in organizing the event. And I thank you one and all once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, DDG. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.